right, what's going on, everybody? Who be 186, and this is Traditionalist 101, and this is the Overrated Podcast, episode 136. A day late, so we're gonna make it up to you guys. We're gonna do two podcasts this week. See what's going on.
All right, Traditionalist 101. And once again, we are so sorry for being late. And and this and don't get me wrong, everybody. Every time when there's some sort of criticism that I receive about us not starting on time, about us being a day or two late, trust me, all of that is completely welcomed. And if you're going to continue doing it, I actually appreciate it because it's clearly something that we have to work on. And as the audience continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, we don't want to continue to make that a habit for newcomers in the chat and things like that. So it's trust me, we understand that sometimes. And shout out to you, Malta, because there'd be times you would even actually ask. I would have F, he would ask me. Who else? Nolan, I know you would ask. So yeah, there's quite a few of you that would, oh, when it's a podcast? Oh, no podcast today? And you leave like a big question mark. So once again, I really appreciate the support, but it is something that we will work on. Unfortunately, life also does happen, and when whether if it's with family or emergencies. So we will try not to make it a habit, but sometimes there are certain circumstances that it's just out of our control, and then we have no choice but to postpone the podcast. But trust me, it is something that we will work on, and I think Hoove, you may agree with me on that.
Agreed. Yeah. This whole weekend's been kind of nutty. So I just couldn't in my current state. I just couldn't do the podcast Monday. I was too tired. So we're here today. Likely we'll do a show tomorrow. If everything goes well, and we will cover pretty much everything else. This will be mainly a basketball topic because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to basketball.
Yes.
Obviously we had the playoffs going on, and but the one thing that I did want to talk about real quick before we get started is we don't really, me and you, more so you than me, we don't really care about boxing all that much, right? We're not big boxing fans, mainly because, at least for me, watching MMA is a lot more engaging for me personally than watching boxing. But like if there's something going on that does pique my interest, I'll watch the occasional boxing match. And that's technically what happened with the both of us on Saturday. Now you were at James's house watching it,
Yeah.
right? I went to I went because after I couldn't work Saturday, so I decided, screw it, I'm just gonna go watch the fight down in Hollywood at what's that place called? Twin Peaks. Right now, if we were able to communicate better, I probably would have just gone to James's house and watch it. But I didn't want to be out late. You know what I mean? I wanted to watch the fight, then go home. But I didn't know you were watching the fight up there until you posted it on WhatsApp. But it is what it is. So we both watched the fight. We were both curious because going up to the fight, Ryan Garcia was acting like a crazy person, right?
Yeah.
And I said it. I don't know if you said it, but a lot of people said that he should not be fighting because he's clearly on something.
Yeah, I
He's
said that
clear-
too.
yeah, he's clearly on something. He's posting all this crazy stuff, and I didn't think he had a chance against Devin Haney. I didn't think he had any shot. Not because of the skill, right? It wasn't because of the skill. Because here's the thing, I really didn't know much about Ryan Garcia until the Javante Davis fight.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't know much about him. I knew he was undefeated, and I knew that he was very popular because of his social media, right?
Yeah, his,
So
his social media, just it really impressed me. I was paying attention to all of his fights, but he was constantly showing his, sparring and training and social media, and I'm like, holy cow, this dude looks like he's for real. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. So like he was showing signs of being kind of like on drugs or something. So I didn't think the fight should have happened, but the fight did happen. And what ended up happening was Garcia basically kicked his ass, kicked he kicked Devin Haney's ass on Saturday.
Sure did.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, me, I couldn't hear some of the stuff because I didn't have audio. They weren't playing the audio where I was at.
Are you
Now
serious?
yeah, they weren't playing. Yeah, they didn't play. At least I couldn't hear it because there were so many people watching. There was a lot of people there.
Oh, so it was packed. Okay.
Yeah, it was fast.
Did
It
you
was
have
fast.
to pay to go in?
No, actually no, because because they have the outside. I went to the one in Young Circle, so they have an outside patio. You know how the setup is over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just watched it from the outside. I mean, I did go in to use the bathroom, and I mean, I didn't. No one said nothing to me.
Oh, okay. I thought you was just gonna go to their house and do it like you
No,
traditionally do.
I originally went there, but you can tell I drove past it, and I knew they weren't showing the fight.
Oh, you you knew?
Yeah, you could just tell because you know how it is when we go to the L house when there's a big fight, it's packed.
Yes.
I looked inside, that place was empty. Place was
Interesting.
empty. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, okay, let me just go to Young Circle.
Mm-hmm.
And got the park, got found some parking, did that, and I went pretty much went by the time I went before by the time I was there, the fighter was already in the ring with the ring announcements going on.
Yeah.
And most people were cheering for Ryan Garcia. Most people were cheering for him. Who are you cheering for?
Yeah. I was actually going for Ryan Garcia because I thought that he didn't stand a chance in this fight because I just felt like this dude was not mentally stable
Yeah.
with the weird stuff that he was saying, and I just said this guy's not ready. And I could have sworn because when I remember maybe two or three, maybe even more than that, a few podcasts ago, we I think we even mentioned that we don't even think that, at least I thought the fight wasn't even going to happen based on some of the things that he was saying, reading a couple articles and whatnot. So I was very surprised that the fight even actually happened. But to see him pretty much, dominate the whole entire fight, because I remember in the beginning they were saying that Haney, was winning. I didn't think so. Like, to me, it felt like, especially in the very beginning, it didn't feel like one was dominating over the other. I thought it was pretty even at like the first couple of rounds. But man, like Garcia was just like pounding this dude just left and right. I felt like he was just constantly giving everything he had, like in his punches. Like he was like ferocious in some of his punches, even when he was missing. I feel like he.
Um.
Go ahead.
No, go. Go. Well, the way I look at it is the way I judge boxing is whoever throws the most punches, whoever have the most significant punches wins that round. I know that's not how they do it in actual judging, but that's how I do it. And the reason why I thought the fight was close early was because Haney was more active in the late. Like I would say, the first round when I gave it to Garcia because he had that good. I think he had a good shot at him, and that kind of wobbled him a little bit in the opening round.
Hmm.
But after that, I thought Haney was the busier of the two fighters. He even had a leaping left hook
Yeah.
that seemed like only pissed off Ryan Moore. But I thought Haney was doing well really until I want to say the sixth or seventh round when Ryan knocked him down for the first time. After that, I think Haney only won, in my opinion, one other round. But Garcia pretty much with his speed and power, I thought really dominated the rest of that fight and really dictated the whole fight because of it. So
Yeah. I agree. I mean, like Henny, he was like I didn't. It didn't look like he was because even when he was getting knocked down, a couple of times, like I remember he was still. Maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but from the way I saw it, he was still being like the aggressor, even after getting knocked down. I thought he was still was the most aggressive because Garcia would back up quite a few times. I've noticed,
yeah,
and he did land a few shots against Garcia. Like I did
yeah,
notice he did.
yeah, he did. But the thing is that the one thing that you notice right away is that Garcia is a lot bigger than him, and it is critical to note that Garcia was what 3.5 over Devin Haney, and
Mhm.
three pounds may not be a lot, but in boxing, being overweight by 3 pounds in a boxing fight is a big deal. So you
Yeah.
have to remember they fought at 140. The next weight class up in boxing is 147, and Garcia was closer to 147 than he was to 140,
Hmm.
and he's naturally the bigger fighter anyway. So so and the thing is that it just sucks when it comes to weight cuts. It shows a lack of professionalism that you're overweight by that much. It's one thing if you're overweight by half a pound or even 1 pound. Okay, maybe you got an injury, you got hurt during training, or just something happened to where you just couldn't make lose that 1 pound, right?
Yeah.
But to pretty much be overweight by 3 pounds shows a severe lack of professionalism.
Yeah. Lack of dedication and things like that. I'm assuming
Yeah,
also. Okay.
and during the final weigh-ins, not during the final press conferences. I mean, David Haney and his crew was like, "All right, you know what? We know that you're not gonna make weight. So for every half pound, I think for every pound that you're over, you owe me. I think it was 50K, 500K,
Wait,
and
500K?
mhm,
You sure it was that much?
yeah, 500K per pound.
Gee whiz. Gee.
And since he was overweight by 3.5 pounds, I think he ended up owing him, what was it, like fit no, that wasn't 1,500, 1.5 million.
Wow.
But
Jeez.
here's the thing. Ryan Garcia made a bet in Las Vegas. I want to say he bet 2 million on himself in Vegas, and he obviously won.
Yeah.
So he pretty much made that money back plus interest. So
That's
yeah. So I mean, pretty much he dominated. I thought like from the sixth round onward, he dominated the fight. He dominated the pace of the fight, and I legitimately do think that there were times when Haney probably should have been done. The fight should have stopped because make no mistake about it. He got like he I think he got knocked down like I think how many times officially like 3-4 times.
yeah.
It should have been more. Because when he was hugging him, he was clearly trying to stay up.
He was trying to stay up, and there was one time like he was like I thought he was trying to tackle him at one point. I don't know if you remember that one, where he was hugging him, but then he kept on pushing forward as he was hugging him. I'm like, what is this dude doing? To me, that almost felt like a tackle because he was just trying to prevent himself from falling to the ground. I'm just like, okay, this dude is out, and I mean, I think I agree with you. I think the ref probably should have stopped it, but when he was able, to continue to be aggressive, in the fight once again, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, he's not wobbly anymore. It looks like he's doing okay. What pissed me off, I still don't understand why the referee took a point off of Garcia.
I saw that, but I didn't know the context of like I know he got hit because I know he got hit with a point loss because when the referee was trying to break, Garcia just threw a punch at him off the blue, and that's why he gave him I know he took a point away.
Yeah.
And
Like, give me
And
a
that,
break, man.
yeah, and that was why when I think the last after the fight was over, I said that I think Garcia won the fight, and you're like Captain Obvious because I think you thought that it was clearly he was going to win. I didn't think that.
Yes.
I didn't think that. I thought he won, but I thought that it only took away 1 point from him, right?
Yeah, only one.
Okay, and I thought because when you look at the rounds, I thought Garcia won of the 12 rounds. I thought Garcia won 7, easy,
Okay.
2-5. Then you take away a point, then you have to figure out how the judging goes. And listen, judging in boxing is stupid. Let's be real, it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Take into and also you have to take into account that one judge actually scored it a draw.
Yeah, that one I could not believe. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, what? Are you serious?
That's why I wasn't sure if Garcia had won the fight technically, even though based on what I saw, he should have won the fight.
Yeah.
He should have won the fight, and thankfully he did. Now, again, it was a great performance. I can't take that away from him because the one thing that I did notice is in the fight when he had with Tank Davis. And now again, I wasn't following the fight heavy until I started watching videos on Garcia because of all the crazy antics. And the thing that I noticed is oh my god, where you been? Okay, the thing that I noticed
Combo.
no, I was talking to Randy.
Oh.
Um the thing that I noticed, right? The thing that I noticed watching the Davis Garcia fight was that Ryan Garcia obviously the bigger fighter. I personally I think Haney's bigger than Davis. The thing is that Davis had a clause in his contract where Garcia couldn't dehydrate into his normal weight. He had a what they call it dehydration clause. So when you're cutting weight, all you're doing, you probably know this more than I do. When you're cutting weight, you're not losing weight. There's a big difference between losing weight and cutting weight.
Mm-hmm.
When you drink water, you're dehydrating. That means that weight that you cut for is coming back.
Yeah, it's coming all right back. Yeah.
Yeah, and Devontae Davis and his team, they had it to where there was no dehydration clause. He couldn't be over a certain weight, right? And for a lot of people thought that drained Garcia in that fight, and that's why Devontae Davis had a huge advantage in that fight.
That's very
Now,
interesting.
yeah. Now, mind you, like this stuff is not uncommon in boxing, especially when it comes to one boxer having the advantage over the other when it comes to like star power. Like
Yeah.
like Floyd Mayweather was notorious for this, right? Because he picked the type of glove that they wore for the fight. He picked the venue, which most of the time was Vegas. He picked the referee, which was I forgot to do first name, but his last name Bayless. Right? He always had the advantage.
The most dramatic referee of all time, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. So boxers when they're the A side, they a lot of time they use their 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 pool to kind of dictate how the fight is supposed to go. It's part of the business, and a lot of people thought that hurt Ryan Garcia, even though no one's taking nothing away from Gervonta Davis. Like I've heard of him. That dude's really good, but he Garcia decided to go the complete opposite route. He went the crazy route. Decided not to lose weight and not to cut weight, not to take the weight cut seriously.
Yeah.
But he had the best performance of his career, and he beat Devin Haney, gave him his first loss of his career. I don't even think Haney had even been knocked down in his career up until that fight. So,
Then I wouldn't know. So yeah, I really wouldn't know. But that's
yeah,
interesting.
so
That's interesting.
yeah, man. So I mean, I really don't have much else to say. Like I said, props to him for the performance, but I don't think this means that I still think that dude's got issues.
Garcia.
Yeah, I
Um,
still think he has issues.
so do you think he should put his fights on hold until he fixes that?
I personally do, but how can you argue with the performance he had, even with all the problems? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I
and
oh my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
one more thing before you go. And the fight was supposed to be a title fight too. It was supposed to be for Devin Haney's title, and because Garcia was 3 pounds over, he couldn't win the title. Now the problem is because Haney lost the fight, he also lost the title. So the title's
Oh,
now vacant,
so yeah. So now nobody's is champion for right now.
pretty much.
Hmm. Um. I mean, do you think? All right. So do you think Garcia should fight someone for the title? Because I don't see any who else would you put on there?
Look, I'll be real with you. I don't think those titles mean jack shit to these guys. I think they care mainly about the money. That's what I think. When it comes to Garcia, it's interesting because I don't know cause I think Haney wants to do a rematch, but if you're gonna do a rematch, then you can't. When are you gonna? How are you gonna do this? Because you can't fight. Because look, he's not going to take that weight cut seriously at 140. At 140, I don't think he's going to. If you move up to 147, Haney's a small dude, and he doesn't have that much power to begin with. And then you move up to 147. I
So
don't
if that's the case, then I don't think Henny would dare to move up to the next weight class. If that's the case, I don't think he's going to.
yeah. I don't know, man. But apparently they're gonna do the rematch. I don't blame. I guess I don't blame Haney for wanting to do the rematch. He did say I saw this on Twitter. He said that he gave Ryan credit, but he said that the next time they fight, they both should be they both should be in should make weight. And it was clear. It was clear. Ryan's the bigger dude. Ryan's the bigger dude. So I definitely understand it, and I can understand. I give them any props because he got knocked down several times, and he kept fighting.
Right.
And the thing is that when it comes to fighting, people make a big deal out of being undefeated and all the other stuff, right? And look, Ryan was undefeated until his fight with Gervonta Davis, and the thing is that being undefeated is not like again, it's very few fighters ever do it, but just because you lose doesn't mean that you lose respect. At least it shouldn't be that way. Because in theory, a lot of people lose. Like Muhammad Ali lost, Mike Tyson lost. Like a lot of greats lose. But the thing is that how you handle losing and how you come back from losing is what, in my opinion, what makes you a champion. And it's why me and you went so hard on Ronda Rousey last week. Even though yes, she is a great champion, and her losing doesn't diminish that. What diminishes her legacy is how she handled losing, making
Correct.
excuses, you know, just diminishing Holly Holm and all the other stuff. It's how you handle losing that what I think gives people people a ton of respect. So again, like
You know
that,
what I you know what I always wanted to ask you know what I always wanted to ask you regarding that. Do you think that it would have been or two things? Do you think it would have been better for Ronda Rousey to do a rematch with Holly Holmes or fight a lesser fighter before going against Nunes? Now that looking back and
that's a good
retrospect.
question. That's a good question. Because look, when she was ready to come back, like they were gonna give her a title shot. Like that. That's just how it is. It didn't matter who it was. It could have been Holly. It could have been Misha. Remember
Hmm.
that. It could have been Misha. or Amanda. So no matter what happened, she was gonna get a title shot. Like it would have
Okay.
been cool. It would have been cool to see her. I mean, but here's the thing. I think the problem with Ronda is that she like again the game evolved right before her eyes. You know what I mean? Like the game evolved right before her eyes. When she was beating up the girls, she was clearly the top dog in that in the world when it came to fighting. But what happened is before when she lost to Holly Holm, she lost to a completely different fighter than she'd ever dealt with.
Yeah.
Someone who understood distance, someone who understood, striking, elite striking at that level that she had never dealt with before.
And the fact that she was so precise, with her strikes.
Yeah, and look, we're not talking about someone who was like Holly Holm was a decorated boxer, kickboxer, like she was all that. But
Yeah.
her first fight in UFC, she didn't look that good. She didn't look that good. And but the thing is that her level of striking was just so different to anything that Ronda had ever experienced. And by the time she came back, she had to go against somebody who took what Holly did and took it to a whole new level.
Hmm.
You're talking
Yep.
about someone in Amanda Nunes who, I mean, let's be frank, who hits like a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her punches, her punches rattles people, and she ain't never dealt with anybody who was like that. She didn't deal with nobody like that.
Yeah. So she obviously didn't experience either had any experience with either fighter, and I think that was probably part of the problem. Not the main factor. Isn't it wasn't the main factor, but I think because with the exception of Misha Tate, she was dominating, all the fights, so quickly, like on first rounds and doing submissions, armbar submissions. I don't necessarily think she had any opportunity to adjust to what Holly Holmes or what Nunez, was throwing at her. Like she just couldn't adjust at all.
And,
She barely ever gets tagged. And remember that fight. You have to remember when that fight when she had against Holly Holmes. If I remember correctly, Holly Holmes was undefeated at the time.
yeah, she was undefeated. But like I said, she wasn't. She didn't look great in her first UFC fight. Definitely didn't.
Hmm.
But she was. But you are right. She was undefeated in her combat career.
Yeah,
So like the game just literally overnight just just elevated, it evolved beyond her capabilities. You know what I mean? You know who else I saw that with? I saw that with Anderson Silva. When Anderson Silva got into the UFC. Now mind you, he was wrestling in Pride. He had losses in Pride.
yeah.
But when he went to the UFC, he was leagues above anybody else in that division.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Chris Lieben, who was part of the Ultimate Fighter, he was a good fighter, but once Anderson got in the cage with him, just destroyed him. Rich Franklin, you remember Rich Franklin?
Yeah, I remember
Franklin.
him.
Yeah, he was, arguably at that point in time the greatest UFC middleweight of all time. Anderson Silva in 2 fights demolished him in both fights because he was a different breed of fighter. Just the game, he elevated the game to a high level to where those guys in the UFC just could not. They couldn't match with that level of skill.
Correct.
And frankly, that's what happened with the women's division when it came to Holly Holm and then I mean Misha Tate beat Holly in a
Yeah.
fight that she in the fight that she was losing.
The fight that she was being completely dominated, Holly Holm was just
Yeah,
destroying her. But then I can't remember if it was the last round or the fourth round.
the last
Man,
round. I remember it being the last round.
oh my gosh, man, she got lucky. She got her in that chokehold.
Yeah,
And the reason why it was so epic is that when Holly Holm almost flipped her over, I thought, okay, like now now we're good. But Misha Tate was still able to hang on even when she tried to flip her over. And once she was on the floor, I said, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe." instantly, just like that, she's going to lose this fight, and she lost. She wasn't trying to tap, but man, she got choked out and she lost. I couldn't believe it, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could not believe it.
yeah. And then Amanda Nunes, who had lost fights prior, fought Misha, and this was in a different stratosphere because she worked on her game. She just became the GOAT. And the skill gap was just too big for her and some of the other girls. So it's just how it goes. But anyway, let's acknowledge some people before we get to our first actual topic. Oh, my bad. Nolan, what's going on, man? How you doing? Malta, I know you're ready for that funeral. We will get to that. We will get to that. Um, Ryan Meadows in the chat. Shout out to him. Um, Let me see. Ruben, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
What's up, Ruben?
We are in playoff season, and a special guest, Anthony Edwards, in the house. How you doing, bro? I know you got a big game coming up today, but you took time away from your day to listen to us. We appreciate it, bro.
Are you trolling, Hoovy?
I'm not trolling. Like, is Anthony Edwards right there? Like, what? Like, I mean, he's right here.
The actual Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, at least I think so.
There's no way, man. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. That's the legitimate Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm sticking to.
There's no way. Is this the actually listening to us? Come on, there's no way.
So
There's no way. There's no
F,
way.
F is in the chat as well. How you doing, bro?
No. Hold on. We can't move on. Is this the legit Anthony Edwards?
I mean, why wouldn't it be?
Wow. How did you find our podcast, bro? Man. Wow, this is a dream come true. If it actually is you, oh man, I don't know what to say. Don't know what to say, but thank you.
All right.
Oh
The
wow.
judges and referee was giving Haney all the chances.
I
Big
agree. I even said that in the chat. I said if this feels like what they're trying to give this dude multiple chances, Haney, like again when you mentioned Haney, fell. I think for the third time, maybe he should have called off the fight and said, okay, it's over, it's done. Especially when he was grabbing him, trying to hold himself together. I just thought that okay, and then he gave him all that rest. Yeah, he gave him all that rest. I didn't like it. It just felt so. I don't want to use the word scripted, but it just felt so suspicious to me how they just constantly gave him that dude a chance over and over again. But maybe it's just me.
Yeah, so critical drop is here. What's going on, man? Yeah, hello all. Work was a short day. Hoobie, did you what? Did you saw AEW Dynasty? Yes, I did. And props to AEW for giving us multiple options to watch the show. I paid for it on YouTube, and that needs to continue. That needs to continue because watching it on Bleacher Report is a pain in the ass, and I'm glad that I didn't have to do it that time. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it was the best pay per view I've ever seen. So,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. The best ever that you ever seen of all of wrestling?
mm-hmm.
Come on, Hoovy. You can't sit here in this podcast saying you don't want to talk too much about it, but then at the same token say it was the best of all time. You got to give an explanation for that, dude. I cannot let you get away with that.
I'll do
Why?
it. I'll do it tomorrow. Keep a lookout on the channel. I'll do it tomorrow. And then he said, "And what do y'all think of the TMNT game, the beat 'em up dungeon crawler?" I haven't seen anything about it. Yeah, have you?
No, I didn't know anything about it.
So we'll look it up, and then if it's something that's interesting, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah. So one last thing, I'm gonna give a big shout out to James. This was us, in the. I'm not gonna play too much of it, but as y'all can see, the boxing was at the very top of the screen, and we were playing Street Fighter at the bottom of the screen. So yeah, you know what? It would have been nice if you were able to show up, Hoovy. when
Yeah.
they said if you were able to, because we had everything in both roles. And the thing is, we've done this before. We've had where we had a game night and a major fight, whatever it was, a UFC fight or a boxing fight before. We've done this plenty of times before, and I kind of prefer doing it that way. And I actually want to do it that way from now on, only for the simple fact, if we were to go out, let's say at a sports bar,
Hmm.
it and then to drive to someone else's crib or our crib to play games, it'll take too much time.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, if James is cool with it, we can do it. We can do it there. Like I said, we could obviously do it at Souls.
or
We can
yours.
do it. Yeah, even my place. We can do it. We do it in my place. Um, yeah, man. Like, I don't know what's the next fight where everyone will be open to watching. Because I don't. Because even though I said I was gonna watch Tyson and Paul, I don't know if I want to do an event over it because I don't even know how legitimate this fight is gonna be.
Hmm.
So me, I'd rather just watch it on Netflix, and if it's BS, then I'll just switch it. I'll just switch it off.
Well, we could still have a
Get
game
together.
night there, because
Okay.
if it's on Netflix, nobody really has to pay for it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. 'Cause I have Netflix, so
Yeah.
yeah. All right. All right. So I guess that'll be the next one. I guess.
Hmm.
All right. So all right. So Critical Drop said best ever. I wouldn't go that far over AEW 2023, Revolution 2023. I think he meant 2024. All in WrestleMania 40. I mean, it's an opinion, but I'll explain. I'll explain tomorrow. Let's get started with the actual podcast. Let's talk about a dumbass, Jonte Porter. You have the article for this, right?
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Dante Porter.
F said that Tank versus Martin fight is in June. Who's Martin? Like I said, we don't follow boxing, so I don't know who Martin is.
Let me see. Let me look for this article. Yeah, you could go keep talking while I look for it.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. The only reason why I wanted to watch Garcia versus Haney was because I thought that it was gonna be an absolute crazy. I thought it was gonna be a shit show. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wanted to know if he was actually going to fight, and I just wanted to see the craziness that was gonna happen in that fight. And like I said, I mean, we got a good fight out of it. We got a good fight out of it, so I can't complain too much. But boxing's not really our thing. But you know, we'll see.
But didn't you think that he was going to lose?
Yeah, absolutely, because he acting like a crazy person.
No.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I just wanted to see if he was gonna do something crazy in the fight. I just wanted to see something crazy happen.
Something crazy as in being out of character.
No, like something where he would do something stupid and do something to ruin the fight, or have like some crazy post fight interview or something, like something nuts,
Okay.
something nuts. But okay, you got the article. All right.
All right, everybody. So we had a similar discussion about this with
Yes,
the MOB,
and
and
we
we
talked about this earlier. We talked about this the following week when he was being investigated. Now
correct,
the investigation is over, and he's a dummy.
and his life is pretty much over. And when I say over, I'm just talking about regarding with the NBA, as it pertains with the NBA, his career is done. Unless he probably, I don't know, tries to go overseas, his basketball career is over. There's nothing else that he could do here. He can't go to the G League. He can't try to go back to the NBA. None of that. All that is thrown out the window. Maybe he could go, like I said, maybe he could probably go overseas. And to me, that's the only option that he has as far as basketball is concerned. But as we all know, it says right here.
Wait, before you go, you do realize that in like depending on where he goes, the betting is gonna be even more crazy over there because they do live betting in Europe. Like in Europe, live betting's been a thing on sports for forever.
So you don't think
And
so you don't think he has a chance?
I mean, it depends, but if he's gonna be betting on, it's gonna be easier for him to bet games overseas than it is gonna be here. So team got to be careful of that overseas, no matter where he goes.
No, okay. I mean that's fair. That's fair. So he is banned for life by the NBA because he bet on the Raptors to lose game and violated the rules. Now, before I read this thing, I want to just say once again that it surprises me, but then it doesn't. It doesn't really necessarily surprise me that much, frankly, because I was trying to look how much money this dude actually makes. I really couldn't find it, much of anything of how much this dude makes. But based on the numbers that he produced, the numbers are not impressive. They're not. Not a least bit. And I have said in the last podcast and when we talked about this that I have a strange feeling that the NBA now is probably going to keep an eye on all the guys, whether they don't play barely any basketball, the ninth, 10th, 11th guy, that's on the bench. Something just tells me that they are going to keep a very close eye on those guys because let's be real here. What's the incentive for a guy like a LeBron James, a Steph Curry, a James Harden, a Kyrie Irving, to bet on something when not only do they have a big contract, but also have these deals, with Nike and Under Armour and such things like that.
Yeah, they make too much money to jeopardize that.
Correct. What's the incentive? Like there isn't any. So I think we are going to have somewhat of a trend of guys with they're going to be an investigation on certain guys in the NBA simply because they don't really make that much money.
But here's the thing: when it comes to him, remember he's Michael Porter. He's Michael Porter Jr.'s brother,
Mm-hmm.
and their father played in the NBA, so they have money. They have money already.
Okay.
So I don't know where I don't understand why he decided to do what he did. I
Yeah.
don't understand.
I don't either. So let's read and by the way, what time do you think you want to finish? By the way, because I know you have to work.
10:30.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. We got some time. Okay. So the NBA announced Wednesday that Toronto Raptor forward Jontay Porter has been banned with the B for life from the league due to a violation of gambling rules. As part of the statement, the NBA noted that an investigation determined Porter was responsible for disclosing confidential information to sports bettors, limiting his own participation in one or more games for betting purposes and betting on NBA games. Pretty much betting, against himself, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And by the way, funny thing, did you know in the Super Bowl somebody did the exact same thing where he betted that
That he
they
was
were,
streak.
what happened?
That he was streak. That someone was streak onto the field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
They null and void that bet, by the way. So he didn't
Oh,
make
they
that.
did.
Yeah, they null and void.
Oh snap! They did. Okay, okay. That part I didn't know. I thought he got the money.
No. They null and void it.
Okay, 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 okay. All right, all right. Okay, so this is where the NBA communications. Let me see. Can you guys read this? Can you
Yeah,
see it?
I can see it.
Okay, so April 17th, 2024, the NBA announced today Jontay Porter, two-way player recently under contract with the Toronto Raptors, has been banned from the NBA. The league investigation found that Porter violated rules by disclosing confidential information, or we read it already. The league investigation found that prior to the Raptors' March 20 game, Porter disclosed confidential information about his own health status in an individual he knew to be an NBA bettor. Another individual whom Porter associated and knew to be an NBA bettor subsequently placed an $80,000 parlay proposition bet with an online sports book to win 1.1 million, wagering that Porter would underperform in March 20th game. Yeah, here's the thing. Now, this is the one of the most stupidest things. It is not really debating, per se. But yeah, you can say debating, but to me, how in the world that he did not have the foresight to see that, you know something, whoever, if I'm going to get involved with betting, whoever it is, whether it's a friend, a brother, whoever, like, if you know this person personally or not, wouldn't you think a part in your mind that 80,000 is a bit too much, and that 80,000 would raise, some type of suspicion? In all seriousness,
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing: greed, greed is a funny thing, man. Greed is a funny thing. When you know exactly something was gonna happen. Okay, let me throw a scenario at you right there.
yeah,
Now, I don't know if you ever seen this movie Back to the Future Part Two.
I've seen it, but I can't
You
like,
can't remember? Oh,
yeah, it
yeah,
was
that's
so
fine.
long.
Yeah, I remember watching the movie. I love the series 1 and 2. I don't watch 3 as much, but I gotta watch it someday and see how it is. But Back to the Future 2 is an interesting movie because it has to deal with this sports almanac book. Now, for those of you who are too young to know this, a sports almanac is a book that records every major sports results of the previous year. Now, what Marty Jannetty did is when not Jannetty. I'm getting wrestling mixed up. What Marty McFly did is they went to the future to stop an event, a bad event from happening. At least that's what I remember. Now, what happened was Marty saw a sports almanac of of the year that he was going. I think the year that he was going back to,
Okay.
which at the time I believe was 19. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the year, but he saw a sports almanac from the year that he was going back to, and his idea was that he's going to use that almanac to pretty much predict the future and place bets where he knew he would win.
In the future, okay, I see what you're going with this.
So, but
Okay,
ultimately what happened was one of his rivals, his dad rivals named Biff. He finds the almanac. He takes the almanac, and then he travels back in time with them to give to his future self, basically to himself when he was younger. So
okay,
that in turn that he would become like super rich and super powerful and pretty much it's a great movie. You guys should watch it. So I'm not gonna give too much away, but yeah, but my thing is that greed when it comes to certain people, it is especially when it's guaranteed money, it'll always catch people. And I ain't gonna lie, if I was in his position, I probably would have done the same thing. I ain't gonna lie.
are you for real?
Not Porter himself. I'm talking about the better. If I knew that a player was going to underperform, and I probably would have tried to bet a lot of money also if I had the money.
Hmm. Okay. Well, yeah. As far as the better, yeah. Who cares? It's not his problem. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like his career is not the one is on the line.
Yeah.
Whoever the guy was. The only thing is that if this, you only made this, a short term thing for you.
Mhm. And we don't even know if one of those betters is Jonte Porter himself. We don't even know that
True.
because if you because you saw what Ryan Garcia did, he bet on himself, and he can do that because he's a boxer. So they're not beholden to those type of rules.
Correct.
But if you're Jonte Porter, you can create an alias and pull the BS that you did and make lots of money. Because remember, like they're well off, but he's not making that much money from his contract, and he's not going to get a shoe deal or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
Like what I mentioned before. Yeah.
yeah.
So the league investigation also found that Porter limited his own participation to influence the outcome of one or more bets on his performance in the least one Raptors game. In the March 20th game, Porter played only 3 minutes, claiming that he felt ill due to the unusual betting activity and actions of the player. The 80,000 proposition bet was frozen and it was not even paid out. Like you see, like this just what makes even worse was that you pretty much got let go and that there was really no reward. No reward. Now it's interesting. First off, I didn't even know that they could do that. I don't know. Maybe you. I'm pretty sure you know a whole lot more about this stuff, than I do. Like I try to stay away, of anything regarding betting. People are always trying to, convince me to, join these apps and do these betting apps. There's this other one that I wanted to get into. I forgot what's it called. I think it's called Pick'ems. I don't know if you've heard of Pick'ems. Uh,
Yeah, they have several sports books and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Which is, I think, is the easiest ones to where you have to pick which team you think is going to win or lose. But like, it's a lot though. Like it's like the NCAA. I think it's also involved. Also, I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, all sports basically.
Yeah, and I wanted to try it out, but because I have so much bad luck, when it comes to gambling, I really don't want to put my hard earned money in it. I'm definitely not going to take a loan doing it. So I just pretty much just watch everybody else do the thing. Like, how you feel about betting? Like, would you ever consider yourself putting your money on this stuff?
No, I don't make enough money to risk betting.
Okay, okay.
No, yeah, I just don't make enough.
All right, so let's continue. So, due to the unusual betting activity actions, yeah, so it was frozen and it was not paid out. In addition, from January through March 2024, while traveling with the Raptors, or Raptors 905, the Raptors NBA G League officiate, Porter placed at least 13 bets on NBA games using an associate's online betting account. Ooh, I didn't even know it was that much. Well, let's continue. These bets range from size from 15 to 22,000 for a total of 54,094 dollars. The total payout from these bets was $76,059, resulting in net winning of 21,965. None of the bets involve any game in which Porter played. Three of the bets were multi game parlays bets and included one Raptors game in which Porter bet that the Raptors would lose. All three bets lost. The suspicious bets involving Porter's performance in the Raptors' March 20th game were brought to the NBA's attention by licensed sports betting operators and an organization that monitors legal betting markets. So yeah, you obviously being watched anyway, and I just think that in my opinion, he did this without actual critical thinking. He didn't really like think this through. I think he just went out and did it without trying to be strategic about it. Because like I said before, like if you wanted to make this like a long term thing, like don't be suspicious. And then for you to say that, oh, I feel sick, just play a bad game. Just play the game and then just play the worst game that you could possibly can. And I
No,
know
no,
it's
I definitely wouldn't do that. Absolutely, not. I would definitely wouldn't do that.
well. I think saying that I'm sick while the bet is going on, it just made it too obvious.
Nah, nah. I think what he did. No, what you're suggesting is a lot worse.
You think so?
Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
because you're playing poorly. Just no. That's what happened with the Black Sox scandal. I mean, I think they played to lose, and that to me like that's garbage.
Well, then I guess it's just pick your poison then. But all right. So NBA announced that one of the best place of Porter was all right. I already read this already. Let me see if there's anything else that's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, once again, he only played 3 minutes. In the game. Like, come on, let's say seriously. Who we win '86. You honestly believe that this is not suspicious? Like, this is what I mean about he wasn't even being strategic. Only 3 minutes in the game. Oh, all of a sudden that you obviously there was a shootout. Obviously you were practicing. Obviously you were warming up, stretching, and then within 3 minutes you felt sick. Like, that like the game just started, and you want to go out and say, "Oh, I'm sick. I don't feel well. I need to take myself out the game." Like, but this is what I mean. Now I understand that you're saying, well, if you play bad on purpose, it wouldn't look good on him. But like,
No, I think both were bad, but I wouldn't want that. And I mean, Multa even says, but best. He's a bum anyway, so it didn't even matter. But I don't want a guy playing poorly on purpose just for money purposes. That's garbage. If he's not gonna play due to his own stats, that's fine. At least we still have a chance to win. At least we have a chance to win. If this guy's on the court playing poorly on purpose, absolutely no, absolutely not.
yeah, but at the very least, do something. Like at least play 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But come on, bro, like 3 minutes. That's just very very suspicious to me. With the, playing within, like, come on, man, come on, like give me a break. Um, Let me see if there's anything else important. I read these already. Porter did not bet on any games he played. Three of the bets were multi-games parlay bets, included Raptors game. Let me see. This is the last one, I think. Although the NBA statement did not specifically mention a game aside from March 20 contest, ESPN David Perdue, Brian Winsworth, and Adrian Wojnarowski reported last month that the league was also investigating suspicious activity regarding the Raptors' January 26 game against the Los Angeles Clippers. So clearly, from my estimation, from my personal interpretation, he was doing this for the long haul. Because this, at the very least, I don't think there was enough of a gap between the bets that he decided to participate in. At least in my opinion. Like if this was, like, let's say in the very beginning of the season, like when the season first started, and then let's say he waited until after the All-Star game to put another bet. I mean, I guess that would probably be less suspicious. But to me, there wasn't even enough gap between all the bets he decided to partake in. Like to me, he was trying to do this at the very least, like every month, or at the very least, make this a long-term thing throughout his whole entire time in his career playing basketball. At least, from what I'm reading right here. I don't know if you agree with that, but I think he was doing this for the long haul.
Yeah, okay,
Um,
he's. I mean, he was trying to get away with it, and he got caught.
Big time. I don't think there's anything else important here. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I guess I'll read this and then that'll be it. He saw significant action in the G League in recent years, but also appeared in 11 games for the Memphis Grizzlies, 2021, 26 games for the Raptors this season. See, this what makes it even worse. I'm not saying that what Malta just said is incorrect. I'm not saying that, okay, he's going to be a star. He was going to be an all-star or anything like that. However, to me, if you are in the G League and you officially made it to the NBA, or at the very least, played some games in the NBA, I understand that you weren't, like a star, and you weren't going to make a huge, contract deal like elite stars, all stars, or just regular stars or starters. You accomplished something big. This was a promotion. You went to the G League, from the G League to the NBA, and now that you're in the NBA, you got banned. Like, some things is just not worth it. Like and in my opinion, in my personal opinion, he not only did he pretty much ruin his career, but remember what I said about what's his name uh dude, this always happens to me now. I need to start eating some more brain food. What happened to John Morant?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember what I said about John Morant. What I said was, you are the breadwinner, within your family. Whatever family that you're going to have, regardless of how many kids that you have, all your friends, all of your people in your inner circle, when you lose, everybody else loses. And when it comes to Porter, he lost. Now everybody else in his family loses. Now you talked about his father and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. But come on, man. You an adult. You had opportunities to make money for yourself and not rely on everybody else.
Well, here's the thing when it comes to his family, like they have another brother who recently got convicted. Let me find this out because this is a lot more serious.
All right, so yeah, while you do that, let me read this last bit over here. This goes to Malta's point. So all told, Porter averaged 3.7 points, 2.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and 37 career NBA regular season games. So once again, he was in the G League, as it says here. Significant action in the G League in recent years, and you went to the NBA, played 37 games. I don't care what anybody else says. You may be a bum to people like Malta, and to maybe people like who we win 86 here. And look, these numbers are not impressive at all. They're not. But it was a huge accomplishment that you graduated from the G League, made it to the NBA. What did you do? You decided to be stupid. You decided not to be strategic. You didn't put your thinking cap on to make sure that you was going to be able to get away with this if you're going to do something foolish. But instead, you got caught. Now you got banned, and you got avoided contract, because I guarantee, even though those contracts guaranteed, you're not getting that money. You're not getting that money. So you lost. You lost everything, bro. And all because, for sake of betting. And it's very unfortunate. But go ahead.
Yeah, but like I said, like I mean, you have that going on with Jonte, and then this one, Corbin Part Porter, he got sentenced to six, I think 6 years.
Six.
Yeah, 6 years in prison for drunk driving crash that killed a woman in
Oh, yes,
Colorado.
yes, 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 yes. I heard about that. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Read that part. Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to zoom up a little bit.
mhm. Just
Um,
let me know. Let me know where.
yeah, right there. Where it says January 23rd. You don't have to read the whole thing. Just that
Yeah,
one.
the January 2023 crash in Denver killed Kathy Lemon Rothman and seriously injured her passenger. Porter, who caused the crash after he ran a red light and slammed into the other vehicle, received an additional 2-year sentence for the passenger injuries that he will serve concurrently.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, and he
Jeez.
had a blood alcohol level of 0.19, which is a lot,
Yeah.
more than twice the legal limit of 0.08.
Woo!
So that family, and it goes to show you, regardless of how much you make, how prestigious your family is, if if you raise kids, if you don't raise them right, this is what happens. And you know, it sucks what happened. Well, I don't give a shit about him, but it sucks what happened to the victim.
That's wrong, man. That's wrong.
No,
But go ahead.
straight up, I don't give a flying fuck what happened to Corbin Porter. Fuck him.
Okay.
Like John T. Porter, like he's a dummy. And truth be told, I've heard Michael Porter talk. He's not that bright either. But this,
That's
you
messed
know,
up.
no, it is. He's not that bright. But here's the thing: like this, I feel bad for him because you have. I mean, you lose one. You're gonna lose one brother for a period of time. You have another brother who made a stupid mistake.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you call him bright. I don't think he is. I don't think he's bright. I think as far as like him not getting in trouble, yeah, sure. Like not ending up like his brothers, yeah, sure. He's definitely smart. Definitely smart.
Hmm.
I've heard the dude talk. I don't think he's that bright, but it's just my personal opinion. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like it's a bad couple months for the Porter family.
Yeah. And the woman that died, she died instantly, like as right, like it was like a like she died on the scene, right?
Let me see if it says anything here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, he and his brother played basketball.
Yeah.
He played basketball for the University of Denver. Um, I don't think it says it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No matter. It's fine. Like you read the most important thing anyway. Um. yeah, that's that's just very unfortunate. Like it's sad, and to see one person get banned and now one is in jail. That must be extremely devastating as a parent because any parent, any parent would look at this situation. I'm not talking. I'm talking about before the accident, before the whole being banned from the NBA. You would look at that situation. You would say like, "Wow, we did it. We made it. We're going to be well off. Your friends are going to be well off."
I mean,
Like,
they already were. That's the thing. They already were well off.
no, no, no. But I'm talking about. I'm exclusively talking about how a parent would feel that wow, my sons are going to make it to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It's you would feel as a parent like this was like a really major accomplishment because only a small tiny percentage of people are going to the NBA anyway, regardless of how many leagues they are. We talk about this many times, and you know you would think that oh wow, not just one, but two of my sons made really stupid decisions. What in the world did we do wrong? Now, I'm not gonna try to make this, like a social thing. I'm trying to stick this to NBA stuff. But since you read, this article, which I thought, yeah, it was important, but it really has me, thinking a lot. Like, my goodness, like it's devastating, as a parent. Now, this happened to both of your sons. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Well, it just sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like it really sucks. Like uh, I don't know, man. I don't want to say too much because like it's just devastating to hear bad news, about this family. So it
No,
sucks.
that is. But anyway, let me read some comments.
There's
Ruben,
nothing to talk
Ruben,
about.
Ruben. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's nothing. There's really nothing else that we can say. Like they were gonna throw the book at Jonte for doing this. You can't encourage this when it comes to any of your players, especially your young players. Like I said, LeBron James, like your LeBron James of the world, Steph Curry,
Hmm.
guys like that. Even guys who make good money, they don't need to do this. They don't need to do this. And what the NBA don't want, they don't want their young players doing this, right? And they don't want D leaguers doing this. They just don't want it. They just don't want that level of you know, I guess you could call it cheating going on in the league.
Yeah.
And they had to throw the book out. They had to throw the book on them.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, they had to. Because look, you still have all these people all over social media, whether it's Twitter, IG, on Facebook, talking about oh the NBA is rigged. Look at this. The NFL is rigged. The last thing you want as a league is to have a situation like this to where it will confirm that all these people that mentioned that oh that the NBA was league were actually right. You do not want that. You do not. So for them to take immediate action and do an investigation and not give a slap on the wrist, it had to be done. Do I believe in second chances? Yes, but I think this was like so severe. You pretty much put the NBA in a really bad spot, and I
And,
think they had no choice. Go ahead.
and you had to make an example out of somebody. You have to.
Hmm.
You have to discourage. You have to discourage a bunch of other people that they can't do this. And unfortunately for John Tate, he had to be the example.
Yeah,
Because if you just give him a slap on the wrist, it's not going to discourage this type of behavior. You have to throw the book at him.
correct.
So all right. So Ruben calls him a dummy. Malta said that I love the Back of the Future movies. Yeah, me too. And Ruben's right here. He said the 1950 to 2000 Gray Sports Almanac. That's what it was. That he took from the future and tried to take it to the past.
Oh, he took it from the future
Yeah,
and he brought it all the way back into the past. Okay,
yes.
I need to go see that movie again. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. If I had the opportunity to do it, I think I would have done it too. I would have done it too, man. I
Of
ain't
course,
gonna
of course you would. Of course you would.
lie. He's only known for being MP's junior brother. Yeah, as of 3 weeks ago, I ain't never heard of him. Me neither. Me neither. I've never heard of him either. I didn't know Michael Porter had multiple kids, multiple siblings.
Yeah, me neither. So that goes to show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
What a joke. So many players would kill to be in his position.
And which is the reason why I had to read that section. Well, hold on. Let me go back to it. Yeah, go ahead with the comments on movie. Cool.
like Leangelo Ball and Dwight Howard. He mentioned that he don't drink or drive, so he wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah, so here it is, Malta. I know I'm glad that you said that, Malta, because I had to read this last part to where you were in the G League, you graduated from the G League, you played 37 career NBA regular season games, you graduated, you went from the G League to the NBA, and now your career is over. You're done, brother. You're done. And to me, I gonna have to agree with Hoovy 186. They had to make an example of somebody because if he did get a slap on the wrist, all that does is incentivize everybody else. Well, I'm just gonna get a slap on the wrist too. That's what's going to happen. So the NBA, they did the right thing. It is unfortunate, and do I feel bad? Yes, I do feel bad. But you made the mistake. You made your decision. You decided to be stupid about it instead of at least trying to be smart about it. And now your career is over. All right, let's go.
All right, and then okay, so we kind of clarified that already. So, all right, so we can move on to the next topic. Pretty much,
Deals. Shout out to
yeah,
you.
yeah. Shout out to you. Thank you for being on with us.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is your first time. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome to the Overrated Podcast, brother. And thanks for your comment. Like I said, I'm gonna try to go back and watch that movie. I know it's an old movie, but I do hear, yeah, people love that movie so much, and I'm gonna try to rewatch it. I think it's on Netflix. I'm gonna check.
When I watched it, it was on Peacock, but
Oh, Peacock.
yeah, just check, just check.
Man, dude, all these servers, man, it's too much. It's too
Man,
much. And dude, I need to say this, real quick. I am about to say something that's gonna be really stupid, and you're gonna disagree with me.
mhm.
I think we will probably, if this continues, I think we would have been better off just having cable, bro. This is starting to be way too expensive. It's too much. It's too much. You want me to pay for Peacock? You want me to pay for Hulu? You want me to pay for Disney Plus? You want me to pay for all this stuff, bro? I'm gonna end up paying more than what I did for cable. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
thankfully for me, my cable bill just got a lot less cheap, a lot more cheaper, so I can deal with it more. I can deal with it more, but I definitely understand where you're coming from. With all these streaming services, but I'll tell you one service that's been clutch for me lately. That's
Mm-hmm.
Toby or
Toby,
Tubi or whatever it's called.
Tubi.
Tubi.
What's that?
Yeah,
What's that one again?
it's pretty much is a free app.
It's free.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, 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 what is it? What's on there?
Pretty much you have like a bunch of you have a bunch of regular movies. It has movies on there.
Are they
Not
good?
yeah, good movies. Like I watched since I got it, I watched Money Talks, which long I've been looking for that movie everywhere. So I
Mm-hmm.
watched that. You could it has Friday next Friday. I just watched Kid and Play. House Party.
Oh, House Party. Okay.
Yeah, I just watched that the other day, and it has some good movies on there. Now it also has like originals, and those original movies are very low budget,
Oh, okay.
very low budget. But when I was getting into my because my favorite action star is Jackie Chan, right? And most of the streaming services that I have a very bad selection of Jackie Chan movies. But on
Really?
Toby, on Toby, the or Tubi, the movie selection is actually very good. It's actually very good. So that's why I downloaded it. It's free.
Yeah.
You do have to do with ads, but it is free. So
Do you
I like.
do you have a screenshot of it, a picture that you put on here? I really, you know what? No, you don't have to do that because I want
I
to.
mean, I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, put it on a Discord.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
But right now let's talk about the NBA playoffs, right? So we're starting off. We're just starting off on the playoffs. So let's start with the Eastern Conference first. We gotta talk about this game. Knicks and 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the ending of that game?
I saw the ending. Yes, I saw the ending.
Now, what's your thoughts about this? Because a lot of people are saying, definitely some people saying that the 76ers got screwed. and I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either. It's I mean, like, okay, okay, I know this is a completely different thing,
Mhm.
because remember before the podcast started how it kind of, pissed me off what LeBron James had said. I think you
Yeah,
know what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah.
And to me, I feel
He even mentioned this game, by the way.
say that again.
He even mentioned this game.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Like the thing for me is that when you watch such a very, very, very good game, and when you would think that when you look at all the highlights, when you look at all the statistics and the stats and things like that, to me, when you try to blame something outside of it, it always pisses me off, because this is kind of like this may sound like a very bad example for you, but
Mhm.
when you watch a pay-per-view at WWE or something like that. Now just try to stay with me real quick.
Yeah.
When you see things like interference, or like outside interference, someone using a chair, and whatnot, and it's cheating. But when you watch two guys fighting each other, wrestling against each other, and one beat one person fairly, like fair and square, like do your finisher, and you won completely fair and square. It to me, it just puts you in a much different, like it's like a refreshment. You know what I'm saying? Like it just feels so awesome watching something with no interference, like no type of cheating. What happened, and what have you. And then I felt the same way about the NBA, where especially when it comes to the Lakers game, we're going to talk about that in a minute, where it was just constant back and forth. Like, is it going to be a comeback? Like, is it going to be very, very exciting to like what's going to happen like right at the very end? And then when you hit that game winner, it's like, bro, you couldn't ask for anything else. Just shake the person's hand, nice shot, and then move on to the next game. I don't want to hear anything about refs and missed calls and this and that. Like, I don't want to hear that, because now you just ruined, in my opinion. Now, I understand too. A lot of people will say, but it creates a bigger story and bigger drama. But in my opinion, it was such a wonderful ending. For another example, is when Kawhi Leonard made that last game winning shot, that game winning shot in Toronto, bro. It just created a wonderful ending. It was just beautiful to watch. And but to me now it cheapens it when you want to say that, oh, the official missed the call, or the official made the wrong call, blah, blah. Like, to me it just cheapens the whole entire thing. I don't know if you agree with that, but to me, it just makes the whole thing cheap, because now it's not about the game winner anymore. It's not about how well two teams went back and forth over and over and over throughout the whole entire game. It's about the freaking refs, and I just don't like it. Like, what do you think about that? What I just said?
Well, here's the thing: the refs got everything wrong. They absolutely did. Fuck. Damn. All right. Anyways, because here's the thing: the 2 minute report came out, and not only did Maxey get fouled, they should have rewarded them a timeout when Nick Nurse um motion for one. So they're right to complain.
But did
Here's
he
the
see him?
problem.
Well, go ahead, go ahead, my bad, go ahead.
It don't matter. Like they like the referee it's the referee's job to know these things. Here's the problem.
Hmm.
The problem that I have with what is that at the end of the day, you had two opportunities to get the rebound and you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Kyle Lowry should have called timeout. This idea that, oh well, we try to get the ball out quickly. What are you doing that for? If you can't find somebody within 3 seconds, call a timeout.
Exactly.
It, like, again, they should have gotten the reward of the timeout, but if you're Kyle Lowry, you have to call a timeout there. And then when they shoot the three the first time and they miss it, someone has to grab the rebound. If you're Philadelphia, someone has to grab the rebound. It is what it is. Again, you can be upset with the referees all you want, and you have a right, and you have a right to. But at the end of the day, you have to do your job. You have to get the rebound,
Okay.
and they didn't do it. Now, with that said, and I know Molten mentioned here, he said that so far this would have been Embiid's highest chance to win a championship yet. Too bad he's hurt again. He's played his second least games this season with 38. Now, here's the thing when it comes to Joel Embiid. Now, again, I'm not the biggest Joel Embiid fan, but I have to say I do feel bad for him
You
because
do?
yeah, I do because he's clearly playing hurt. He should not be playing, but the reason why he's playing is because he knows that with him they still have a chance. And look, they were in both these games.
Mm-hmm.
It could easily be 2-0 on their side. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks what happened, what's going on with him right now, because as great as he's been, it's always been that when it gets to it, when it gets to playoff time, there's always one injury slowing him down, and it sucks because as you can see, he's out there, he's playing, he's gutting it out.
Okay.
So I do feel bad for him. With that said, I still think they have a chance in this series. I still think they have a chance in this series. Now they have to win both their games in Philadelphia, but I still think they can win this series.
Mm, I mean, let me see. Do I think they could have? I mean, look, if I think it all depends on Joel Embiid, obviously.
Yeah.
It really all depends on Joel Embiid. But I want to go back, to talk about the game, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I still don't like about okay, because you mentioned the officials missed the call, but we know, okay, whatever. At the end of the day, though, they still had a chance to win. But look what happened. I think it was Maxi got his layup blocked or something like that. I think if I remember
Props to Hardenstein for the block.
With the defense.
I mean, props to Hardenstein. Period. Like,
matter of fact, they would have had the lead if he had made that layup. If he made that layup,
yeah.
But he got blocked. They probably would have won the game from there. But they got blocked. So prop to the defense.
Yeah.
So to me, if you still had an opportunity, to win, I don't want to hear anything, about referees, and things like that. I really don't. And besides, it still doesn't negate, from the fact that you made the mistake by falling down, Maxine. Like you fall, to the ground. You couldn't keep your hands, on the ball. Like, I mean, like, that's to me, that's all on him. That's all on him. And I think he was trying to make it up by trying to go for that layup, and then it got blocked. It got blocked. So am I saying that you're incorrect about the officials? No, you may not be correct, but let's not act like as if they still didn't have a chance to win the game after that. They still had a chance.
And that's why I think they'll win both games in Philadelphia, because to me, the best player in this series is still Joel Embiid. Even Hobbled is Joel Embiid. I mean, Jalen Brunson hasn't done much of anything in the series, at least not to the level that he's known for. He's been carried by the other guys, like your Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein, who else? The other guys, right? So he needs to come up big in Philadelphia, and I think he will. But I still think Philadelphia has a chance to win this series. I think Knicks win in 7, but I actually do think that the series is gonna go 7.
Yeah. And look, let's just keep it real. Like nearly everybody in New York had a good game. Everybody had a good game. So like I think that team, because I know how much you hate the New York franchise. I know how much you hate them as a franchise. But hey, we just keep it real. They look good. Those guys look good. It looks like they really complement with each other. And I feel like as a team, like they look really balanced. They look really balanced. So
Yeah, but but they're they had two drag out fights against a team they should be easily. Because Joel Embiid is not 100%, and Joel Embiid not 100%. This Philadelphia team is not that good.
I mean, they're not that good because you have guys like Harris who's not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, 10 points, 10 points is not enough. I'm sorry, not in a playoff game. 10 points is not enough. Okay, you got like what, like 9 rebounds or something like that. Good for you. But as far as offensively, I need more than 10 points. You know that Joel Embiid is hurt, and all you could give me is 10 points. Like, what the hell? And not only you. I'm not. Let me not just talk about Harris. I understand that you're old, Kyle Lowry. I understand that you're old, but come on, bro. Your experience should have at least been enough to contribute to help Philadelphia win. But I think he only had like what, 7 points, 7, 8 points.
I
And I'm
mean,
sorry, I'm sorry. That's not enough. That's not enough either. That's not enough.
yeah.
That's not enough.
I mean
Bro,
that's why I was glad that we traded him.
you were like, I mean, what? You was gonna disagree with me?
No, no, that's why I'm glad we traded him. But now the guy we traded him for he's hurt. But we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah. So overall, I think overall, the Philadelphia team can still win this series. But if you're going to get performance like this, from Harris and from Kyle Lowry, that team is not good because regardless of what the reason is, if they're old or whatever, Joel Embiid is not 100%. So you guys got to step up your game. You have to. You have to. If Joel Embiid could still score like 30 plus points, you know what I'm saying, and that should motivate the rest of you guys enough to say, I gotta back this dude up. I gotta back this dude up. But 10 points and 8 points is unexcusable for me.
All right. All right. So, Molter said that he was such a big supporter of Embiid. This is highly disappointing. If the Knicks had Randall for the playoffs, I think they could have made the finals. If they had an efficient Julius Randle, then yeah, I actually do agree with you. Even though I think Boston is the best team in the East.
Oh,
And
wait,
speaking of,
you agree? So you agree with Malta?
yeah,
Oh, wow. So you think
I
they'll
mean,
be?
if they had Randall, I think their chances will be better. I still think Boston's the best team in the Eastern Conference. But speaking of that, we'll cover this real quick. The Heat lost game one
Uh
to the
huh.
Celtics.
Yep.
There's not much. There's not much to say about it. Like, I don't think the Heat are going to win the series. They don't have Jimmy. They don't have Terry Rozier. So they don't. For me personally, I don't think they have a shot. So all you really can do is just make it competitive, and that's all you can do.
Um. Let me see. I mean, there's really not much for me to say because, like, what can you say when you have your main stars, your main all stars, are hurt, and when you have Jimmy Butler who's not in the lineup, there's not really much Bam Adebayo could do. There's really not much that he could do. Like he's I mean, who else do you have? I mean, I know you like Tyler Hero, but I
Yeah,
don't think he
when
played
he
that
played
well.
like garbage, we have no shot whatsoever.
Yeah, he didn't play that well. Another person who scored 10 points. I think it was 11. But once again, like that's not enough for somebody who's been a starter for this long period of time, and how you said a couple years ago how you expect him to be better, or at the very least, wait, has he been an all-star yet?
No,
No, he hasn't been an all-star yet. But even still, like he should be good enough to where you could say that he's a good caliber all-star type of player.
I mean
And
his
like,
numbers are all star caliber when you look at them. The problem that I have with Tyler Hero is that when he's pressured, when he's being played by great defenders, he disappears. And I get it, that's what a defender is supposed to do, but when you are better than if you're a great offensive player, you have to overcome that.
agreed.
You have to overcome it. And if he can't do it, and then you don't have Jimmy, you don't have Terry, who can score against tough defenses, then there what is there to do? What can you do? There's really nothing much you can do. So
Yeah, and and look, they just don't have enough. Like I don't think you could rely too much on Kevin Love anymore. Um, and like so there's really not much. I'm not saying that Kevin Love is a bum. I do expect him to score more than just a few points. I think he only scored 7 points,
I mean,
but
that's not what he's there for. He's there. He's there to relieve Bam in certain spots. Like he's not. You can't depend on him to score 20 points a game.
yeah, but I don't think 7 points is going to benefit the team either.
Uh, that's fine, but like I'm not getting upset with his performance. I've been happy with his performances this at least this year. It is this year. We're not losing the game because of Kevin Love.
Hmm.
We
Right.
lose the game. We're losing the game because we don't have our two best offensive players, and we don't have enough basically against a
Which,
team
which,
that won 60 plus games. So
which is fine, which is fine. But now that you don't have them, I expect Kevin Love to step up his game. That's all.
so wait,
That's all. And
so
I and,
wait,
and, and I expect the same thing from Tyler Hero too.
I mean, I expect that from Tyler Hero because he's making, he has a max contract now. Kevin Love.
Something's wrong with your microphone, I think, or your internet connection,
Oh, why? Can you hear me?
or maybe it's me. Hang on, let me see. Maybe it's probably me. Um,
Yeah, before okay, but yeah. I mean, so let me know. Everything fine?
let me check.
Yeah. All right, but in the meantime, all right. So we're done talking about Miami and Boston. Pretty much, Cleveland
Oh,
and
do you
Orlando.
do you, do you how do you like Boston though?
I mean, look, I'm not gonna cheer for them, so they could go fuck themselves. Um,
Yeah, I think what I think you should do is give them their flowers. They
Fuck
did
them.
they did their job. They destroyed the team who's not healthy.
I don't give a shit about that. That's fine, but I'm not giving them props. Fuck them.
I mean, what are you sounding all vulgar and explicit only because they did that against Miami?
No, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the Celtics. What am I supposed to do? Like they did what they're supposed to do. That's it. I mean, I'm not. What am I supposed to? I'm supposed to give them credit for what?
I mean, I guess for doing your job. I mean, Jason Tatum had a great game. Porzingis, like I told you before, I knew he was going to be a great contributor when he went to that team.
No, yeah. I give him props for that. He has.
Yeah, and he's been staying healthy and look, I mean, Holiday only had only a few points, but he did his
But he
thing
did.
on.
He did a job defensively.
Yeah, he did his thing. And White, hey, let me tell you, the White, that dude stepped up. That dude stepped up. And who was it? Was it Maxi that became most improved player? I think it was.
I think they announced the final list.
Yeah, I think it was Maxi. I think I have to remember,
No,
but
yeah. I think he's probably gonna win, but they announced the final. They haven't awarded. I don't think they've done awards yet. They just announced like the finalists for these awards.
yeah.
So, anyways, all right. So Cleveland, Orlando. Cleveland's up
I
two
didn't.
zero.
I didn't. I didn't. I didn't watch. I haven't watched any of those games yet, so I can't
Oh
say.
no, I haven't watched too much, but Cleveland looks good. But again, I'm interested to see how Orlando plays at home.
Mhm.
This is the first series for that core group of players that they have. This is their first playoff series.
Yeah,
So we'll see how it goes there. Milwaukee and Indiana. I actually picked Indiana to win the series,
yeah. I'm still shocked that you picked them.
yeah, because I did not expect Milwaukee to play this well without Giannis. Now again, it is only game one. It is only game one, and Indiana is a very young team. But if Dame can play the way that he play in the first half of last game, then yeah, I'll give them a better shot. I'll give them a better chance. But
Yeah, because I think he didn't do that well in the fourth quarter, correct?
no, he didn't score any points in the second half.
It was 0 points. I could have
Yeah,
sworn he scored maybe a
score
couple.
nothing. They didn't score nothing in the second half, but they did beat Indiana pretty easy.
Yeah, yeah,
Game one.
yeah, yeah. He completely
So
dominated, and shout out to Middleton. I've been very critical, of that dude, but he did his thing
well,
with three.
he's been dealing with a bunch of injuries. He's been dealing with a bunch of injuries. So I'm not gonna get mad at. I'm not gonna get upset with him. He's clearly dealing with a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
So I mean,
and,
but I still think Indiana should win the series though.
yeah, and Lopez. I guess he did his thing, a little bit, but that dude he played over 30 minutes, and I expect more rebounds from you, sir.
Hmm.
I do.
All right.
You scoring 11 points, I mean, like you weren't really that big of a score, but I do expect your rebounding to go up. Four is unacceptable to me. But look, the fact that they all came together and won without Giannis against a very explosive Indiana team, I think that was very good.
Yeah, but Halliburton got to play better though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right.
Do you remember
So
how many points he had? I
he
don't.
had like 9 points.
Oh,
Nowhere near enough.
okay, okay,
All right.
okay.
So going to the Western Conference, we got to talk about the other game from yesterday. Um, Denver versus LA. Now, before we go to your comments about LeBron James, right? Because obviously everything he says is going to piss you off.
Yep.
That shot by Murray, absolutely nuts.
You said
Absolutely,
Oh, I thought you said absolutely not. Okay,
no,
good.
absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. You know, man, that was crazy. That was a crazy shot by him. And
Yeah.
and look. I want to do the Lakers a solid and give them they'll win one game against Denver. I think that's it. Denver's just a better team. They're just a better
Um.
team.
Okay.
There's nothing.
All right.
There's nothing they can do. There is
I
nothing
I
they can do.
I disagree, and the reason why I disagree is because in the first half, and matter of fact, even in the third quarter, Anthony Davis was just pounding on Joker. He was. I don't know if you saw it, but he was every time when Anthony Davis had the ball, he knew that he was more athletic than Joker. With the hops and with the speed and with the cuts and everything, he is far. You could just tell by the movement, he is far more athletic and stronger than Joker. He is, and I'm not saying that Joker got exposed. I'm not saying none. I'm not saying none of that. But to me, when you have Davis, down.
Oh, oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching Panthers and Lightning is playoff game, and I just seen Bobrovsky make the greatest save I've ever seen in my life. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
I saw freaking Anthony Davis was bullying Joker in the first half and in the third quarter. So mid second half. He did his thing. And I felt like the reason why that they lost was because they stopped going to Anthony Davis in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They stopped going to him. That's the reason why they lost. Not because the Denver are just far better and blah blah blah. They had the chance, to win that game. They had their chance, but they stopped going to Anthony Davis, and I think that's the reason why they lost the game. That's the reason why they lost the game. Now, people could also were saying when I wanted to play this one video, but I'm not going to do it because of copyright, stuff, and I didn't have time to edit to edit everything. But when LeBron James had that wide open shot,
Mm-hmm.
I immediately said to myself, "Game over," because I forgot who fell. I forgot who fell to the ground, but when he was wide open, I immediately said, game over. He's too wide open. He's taking his time. The shot's going in. The game is over. And he missed it. I couldn't I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he missed that shot. And right immediately after that, Murray hit the game winner. That looked like very similar to the Kawhi shot that I mentioned before.
Mhm.
You know, the court, going near the baseline, shoots the fadeaway, similar to that Kawhi Leonard shot. That Kawhi Leonard shot was just amazing. When it bounced and it went in, everyone went nuts. Same thing happened yesterday. Everyone went nuts. The crowd went nuts. I was like, wow, what a game. And you saw me post on the Discord. I was just in awe from what I saw. This was a fantastic game.
Mhm.
Fantastic game. And
Walter said, "Oh, Lakers let that one slip away," and that's true. Like when you have a team that's owned you for the last couple years, you finally play a game where you feel like you can finally get one on them, and they win it like that. That's demoralizing.
which is why I think now with the loss like this, I don't know if they could come back from that.
I don't
I
think
really
so, either, but we'll see, man. Because the Lakers, they're not a bad team. They're not a bad team, and at least when D'Angelo Russell plays well, you know what I mean. They're not a bad team. So for them to lose that way, pretty nuts. But anyway, we need to watch this interview from Anthony Davis. Right, he said something very interesting that I wanted to discuss here. Let me put the volume up and listen to his comment. I thought it was a very good comment right here that he made. Can you hear this?
Screened or what happened on that last play? Jamal Murray.
Hold on, let me rewind. I want to get all his comments.
okay.
I don't know if you were screened or what happened on that last play.
Jamal Murray made a shot.
It's very, 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 very insightful.
Play it again.
Very-
I cannot believe I missed it. I can't believe I missed that one. No.
Jamal Murray made a shot.
One more time.
I don't know if you were screened or what happened on that last play.
Jamal Murray made a shot.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, the microphone made noise longer than that answer.
dude, that was that that was wonderful, man. That was wonderful. That dude was pissed.
Yeah,
he was pissed.
I don't blame him for being pissed because, like I said, he wants to beat that team too.
Dude, for a guy with 11 rebounds, 32 points, was bullying freaking Joker, at least for a time. And after all that hard work, bro, LeBron James shooting 2 threes back to back with that crazy dunk. And dude, I just love that commentator. What's his name again?
Kevin Harlan.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. I love that dude when he does his commentating. When LeBron James hit that dunk and he goes, "Ah, LeBron James with the sledgehammer." Dude, I just love this. I just love that dude. One of the greatest commentators of all time. But anyway, LeBron James hit that dunk. I mean, he had a block shot. I mean, look, they did everything they can, not only for when they had the lead, but they were really trying to win the game and was trying to keep that lead. You know what I'm saying? Like they really tried to keep that lead. And to see Anthony Davis and LeBron James with all that hard work and they still lose the game, yeah, it has to be demoralizing. I mean, for goodness sake, LeBron James had 12 assists in that game. Easy double for him. You know what I'm saying? So with his 12 assists and with his I think he scored like 26 points. Well, with great stats. But here's the thing: somebody said something very interesting about LeBron James, and I forgot who the person was, but he said he don't believe that LeBron James scoring has as much impact as it was before. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but he pretty much said that it just doesn't phase anyone like they used to. he's not,
Well,
you know,
it doesn't face Denver because Denver is better than them.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I guess you're right. And besides, they don't have a good supporting cast. So they only had 3 guys that was in double digits and double figures when it comes to points.
Yeah,
You know,
and D'Angelo Russell, who is
shout out
always he played well, but they don't have enough to beat. They don't have enough to beat Denver. I think Denver is just that much better than them. So I'm not going to put. It's easy to put the loss on any of them, but they have to play perfect in order to beat them. And when you have to do that against a team, that's when you know that they're better than you.
yeah, and what's his name that used to play for Miami last year?
Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, that dude didn't do anything. I'm he probably wish he was still in Miami, probably. Because that dude really hasn't done much of anything ever since he got to.
Well, I mean, he was hurt for most of the year, so I don't want to go too bad on him. But I mean, they don't have enough. Denver's just better. But we'll see what happens in LA. If they can win a game in LA, then it's a series again. But I just think Denver is just that they're just better. And I think they're the best team in the league. I still think they're the best team in the league.
Wait. So you think they're better than Boston?
Yeah. I mean, I think Boston can beat them, but I think they're better than Boston.
Wow.
Cause you talking about Anthony Davis kind of dominating Joker at certain points. Joker still had 20, 20, and 10. You know what I'm saying? He had 20, triple double. So and then you have Jamal Murray playing the way that he's playing, and then their starting 5 in general is just good, really good.
Mm-hmm.
With Porter, Gordon, and Pope, they're just sometimes when you have a starting 5 that when you have 5 guys who play that well together, there's nothing. Most teams can't cope with that.
Yeah, but Pope only had like 6 points. So I'm not really that impressive for what he did. I mean, he only had
but when he gets going, then they're just impossible to stop.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I like All right. So what's your problem with LeBron James' comment?
No, let's hear what he had to say.
Okay.
Let's hear exactly what he had to say because I already somewhat addressed this when we talked about the last game. Well, not the last game, but when we talked about the 76ers and the New York game, where you watched such a fantastic game, and then when you try to blame refs or missed calls and this and that, I think it kind of cheapens it because both teams gave everything they had. They both played extremely hard. You know what I'm saying? And then, but when you want to blame somebody else, it kind of just cheapens it. It cheapens everything for me. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about LeBron James once again. And instead of just reading an article about it, because I do have the article, for the sake of time, let's just hear what LeBron James actually had to say. I think is it this one? Hang on, give me 1 second. Bleacher Report. Did you hear that?
I heard something.
Oh, hold on. I didn't even share it. Crap.
Yeah, share it. I mean, after that, I got to use the bathroom real quick. But go ahead. Play the audio.
You hit those 2 threes despite everything that happened at that point. You're up 8, and I think Denver had one more miss and then hit 7 straight shots down the stretch. What did you see from them execution-wise? How consistent is that with what they've been, and how do you guys take that? Being up as big as that you were.
I mean, we know they're a great offensive power team. We know they're gonna get into a rhythm at some point. We know they're gonna make runs, especially on their home floor. Just have to withstand them, and I think we did. Obviously, we gave up a 20-point lead, and that's unfortunate. But 20-point leads in this league is not safe, especially against a defending champion. We got to do better with that, but we got our chances.
team you play on is its own individual team every season, its own individual season. That said, you've been a part of teams that have come back from all sorts of different deficits in a series. Where does your mind go down 0-2 headed back to LA?
Protect home. That's where my mindset goes. I mean, obviously, the only game that matters now is Game 3 and how we can get better, how we can figure this team out. So Game 3 is where my mindset is.
It was hard to come by for you guys, really, most of the second half, but particularly in the fourth quarter. You had something going. What'd you see on the look at the top of the key that was your last shot then?
I had a wide open look and it rimmed out. I mean, it rimmed in and rimmed out. So,
LeBron, in the third quarter when they start to kind of slowly get back in the game.
Hoover, are you back yet?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Now you heard how he said that he missed the wide open shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you heard that part. Let me show everybody how wide open this dude was. Let me show you how wide open this dude was. Now, luckily, I went on Twitter, and somebody had the exact same thoughts that I did, because I wanted to take a screenshot of it. Because once again, I don't want to get copyrighted. I really want to keep this podcast clean. So this is the screenshot that I'm talking about. See if you see it.
Yeah. Okay.
So obviously, this is the quote that LeBron James said. He's gonna say it in the video, but just to give you guys just a little piece. You know what? Maybe I should just play here. Should I play here instead of just playing the whole entire thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be better me playing it here. But before I do, look how wide open this dude was. Obviously, the quality is not that good, but it falls to the ground.
You can see. Like, yeah, D'Angelo Russell is the only person that can guard him in that spot. You know what I mean?
I like that, dude. I like that. Exactly. Exactly. Do you remember that? Remind me. Do you remember what James Harden did when he tried to block his own teammate's shot on the baseline? I don't know if you remember that, but he tries to block his own teammate's shot on the baseline. That was hilarious. But anyway, D'Angelo Russell was the only guy that was in the way. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I really want to play the video, but once again, I don't want to get in trouble. But he's on the ground. Legs are in the air. No way that dude is going to recover fast enough. LeBron James was wide open, and he missed.
I think that was Caldwell Pope.
No, it's so blurry. I can't even tell. But he's wide open. This is how wide open LeBron James was, and he missed a shot. And by him missing that shot, Kyrie Irving, Jamal Murray said, "This is how you're supposed to make a game winner."
Who said that?
No. I'm just saying it out of my mind. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
He goes, "Hey, this is how you make the freaking final shot or game-winning shot." He hits it, they win, and the game was over. But once again, it was a beautiful game to watch, and oh my gosh, it was just fantastic. So this is what pissed me off of what LeBron James said.
Sorry I didn't answer your question, but that shit is like, I don't understand what's going on in the replay center, to be honest. I think I said it this year or last year, whatever. D'Lo clearly gets hit in the face on a drive. What the fuck do we have a replay center if this is going to go? It doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense to me.
All right, before it continues with his complaining. One, look, not every single hit is going to get called. We know this already. We already know this already. And number two, you guys blew a 20-point lead. 20. Not 10, not 15, 20. You guys had a 20-point lead, and you made them caught up, and you made them have this huge run, and you guys lost from a game winner. You guys did your job already, but you couldn't finish the job. That was the problem. What you should have said was that, hey, we had the lead. We should have punched them in the mouth. We missed the freaking knockout punch. That's what happened to us. We didn't get the job done because we didn't finish the job. And by us not finishing the job, Now we're 0-2. I don't want to hear anything about you talking about the refs. Not in that game. Not in that game. Not in the game where you pretty much dominated throughout the whole first half and you dominated most of the third quarter. I don't want to hear anything about referees and cheating and not looking at replay and missed calls when you had a 20-point lead in the game. I don't want to hear that. I don't. And you could say, "Oh, I'm being overdramatic. I'm being hyperbolic. Or I'm being insensitive, or whatever it is. Or I'm being a LeBron James hater." You could say all of that. But the facts are, they had the freaking Denver Nuggets right on their throat, right at their throat. This should have been the one. This should have been the tied series 1-1. It should have been. But what happened? You guys no longer went to Anthony Davis. You missed a wide open shot, a wide open shot. Matter of fact, it was so wide open that was the practice shot. that was a practice shot. That's what it was. And you missed. You missed. And so look, at the end of the day, you're going to have to be held accountable for your actions. You guys didn't do what you needed to do in the fourth quarter to finish them off, and now they're up 2-0. So I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything about. I don't want to hear anything about the refs. And you know what? I understand that teams make a run, and there's been many comeback behind victories throughout NBA history. I get it. I do. But remember, you also had 2 back-to-back threes. I think you guys were like up 8 or 10 points with like 4 or 3 minutes left. You had everything under control. So why are you blaming the referees now when you had everything on your doorstep? You want to blame the refs. And this is what I mean by how it just cheapens the game. Now people are going to talk about this, like how I am doing that, like how I am now. They're not going to talk about how great, the game was, how it was one of the, well, at least TNT did. They said that was the best. Those are the 2 best games in TNT history. I mean, I know Charles Barkley had said it. I think Ernie has said the exact same thing. So kudos to them. That it was just an amazing doubleheader on that weekend. Fantastic. No, it was, when was it? Yesterday? Well, it doesn't matter. Fantastic. So, in my opinion, Hoovie 186. There is absolute. I do not want to hear anything about refereeing. I do not want to hear anything about it. I'm sick and tired of replays anyway. It constantly slows down the game, and you have challenges. And if you feel like, a call didn't go your way, use your challenges. That's all you have to do. But now you're talking about, referees instead of you missing the shot. Well, I think you mentioned that missing the shot. But at the end of the day, it's the whole entire team that lost. Not the ref. The referee didn't make you guys lose. You guys lost because you couldn't get the job done. Let me listen to what you have to say.
It bothers me. Sorry I didn't answer your question, but that shit is like. And then I just saw what happened with the Sixers Knicks game too. What are we doing?
No, look, I don't. You mentioning the Sixers. That's not your problem. Focus on what about your game, about what you did wrong, and everything else. Who that what happened to the Sixers and New York? That has nothing to do with you. It's not your concern. It's not your concern. Now, obviously, this kind of going line of what you said, that you believe that the timeout should have been called, or that they did, make a mistake and whatnot. But I'm gonna stay consistent on this. They still had a chance to win, but they got the shot blocked. So they at least they had a chance. And in this case right here with LA, they had more than a chance already because they were already in the lead by 20. So I honestly don't want to hear it. And so let me hear you defend LeBron James. Go ahead.
No, I'm not defending. I don't give a shit what he has to say about referees. Like, I don't care. This is what it is. Like, guys complain about referees all the time. The facts are, like, you're down 0-2 to a team that's better than you. So, I mean, like Ruben said, he said LeBron is taking accountability for that shot, which is what he did. Yes or no?
He did.
Okay,
That's
so
why I backtracked for a second. Yeah, he did.
right, so like when I'm supposed to get on him for complaining about referees, but Joel Embiid did the same thing. Doesn't change the fact that you're now down 0-2. It is what it is. Like,
But here's the difference: Joel Embiid wasn't up by 20 points though.
no, maybe not true. Maybe true, but look, 20-point leads don't mean shit in the NBA nowadays. It don't mean nothing. Guy, and especially with against that team, they can get hot in a hurry. Like, come on, like it don't mean anything. The facts are you're up by what? You're up by a couple points. You had your opportunity. You had a wide open three and you missed it. It happens. And then Jamal Murray, sticks it in you. To me, all this, what he's saying right now, is all frustration. Is all frustration because they're playing a team that they can't beat. Like last 11 games, like Moses said right here, they lost the last 11 games to them. And I guarantee you they're sick. Yeah, and I guarantee you they're sick and tired of it. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna say, "Oh, take this, say that," and you're gonna make excuses, all that crap. You're because they're frustrated. They're tired of losing to this team. They're sick of it. But it is what it is.
I mean, when you're facing a team that eliminated you from the playoffs in the Western Conference Finals, and then when you had them right in the palm of your hand, like you had that win right at the palm of your hand, and look, unfortunately you missed the wide open shot, and Murray made his game winning shot, which I wish I could show, but obviously I can't do that. I'm not taking the risk. I do wish I could show it, but at the end of the day, he doesn't care that it was a good game because he lost. But for me, that game was special. The game was special. It was highly entertaining. It was good to watch. It's obviously playoff basketball, but he just needs what he needs to do is just you got to shake the guy's hand and say that was an amazing shot, and try to win game 3 and game 4. You to me, they have at the very least a small recipe to win game 3 and game 4. You're back at home. And play bully basketball again. Give Anthony Davis the ball and put him to work down in the post, because he's obviously stronger than Joker, and he's obviously more agile than Joker. So, and when you looked at it, Joker looked more gassed than Anthony Davis over there. At least to me, that's what it looked like to me. So, as long as you guys could be consistent at giving Anthony Davis, the ball, I think they should at least win, the next 2 games. They're not going to win the series.
For me, they need to put that dude in foul trouble. That's what they need to do. They need to find a way to put Joker in foul trouble. That's what they need to do. Because as long as he's on the court, they have no shot. As far as I'm concerned, they don't have a shot.
Yeah.
Okay. The game going on right now that I have on my TV is Minnesota and Phoenix. Now Minnesota right now they're up by 10. Right, they're up by 10.
Oh, brother.
Anthony Edwards. He was struggling for most of the game, but recently he's been getting it going a little bit better recently. But I said Phoenix had a chance in the series, and I still think they do. But the one thing that is very clear is that Minnesota has more depth than Phoenix, and their depth.
I thought you was going to say something that I always said, but go ahead.
But even with all that, like they have more depth. Even with all that, the only way Phoenix is going to win the series is if Devin Booker becomes the best player in the series. Period. It's the only way.
Why not? Why can't you say Kevin Durant?
No, because Kevin Durant is like 35 years old. The best player on that Phoenix Suns team should be Devin Booker. Interesting take. It should be. Now, I like even if he is, it may not even be enough. But even still, like the player who Devin Booker struggled game 1, so he needs to get. I don't know what his stat line is today, but right now they're down by 8. So I don't know, man. But yeah, but I mean, I don't know if you have anything to say about the series.
Yes, I do. And what I'm going to say is that I told you so, and I will tell you some more.
What about what?
That Kevin, to me, Kevin Durant cannot stand physicality. He can't.
Well, how many points did he score in the game in game one?
Are you talking about the last game, right?
Yeah, game one.
Wasn't it like 13 points?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Well, let's check right now.
All right.
Yeah, you check because I have something to say.
All right.
Kevin Durant cannot sustain physicality. He can't. I've been saying this to you for years, and I'm going to continue to say I told you so because you refuse to listen to me. I said it. Malta in the chat has said it, that Kevin Durant needs to gain muscle, but it's too late now.
Oh yeah, he did gain. Yeah, it was 13 points.
Oh, 13 points. So I was right.
Wait, what day is it today? Today's 23rd, right? Wait, what day is it today?
22nd?
No, 23rd. Okay, so this today's game. The game one, he had 31.
Oh, 31. Oh, okay, backwards. Okay, backwards.
All right, so he had 31 points.
Okay, 31 points. 31 points. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. But even still, he's not. I don't think he could stand that type of physicality because it showed when he was in Brooklyn. He couldn't take that against Boston. He couldn't take that against Boston. And to me, when you have a guy who had the opportunity when in his prime years to gain muscle like Steph Curry did, to gain muscle like Giannis did, like Kobe Bryant did, like Michael Jordan did, like Dwayne Wade did, he had that opportunity and he chose not to do it.
Hey man,
When you had your own teammates, I don't care what you say about Kendrick Perkins, but when you had your own teammates telling you that you need to hit the gym, that you need to get stronger, mind you, this was back in OKC, not Golden State. This was back when he was in OKC. This was when he was in his prime, and he decided not to gain muscle like everybody else was doing. Of course, he's not going to be able to withstand the physicality against great defensive teams. And Timberwolves was a great defensive team. Boston was a great defensive team. And look, he is struggling to win against both of them. And let me also say this one last thing before I let you go. I'm getting really sick and tired of this big three nonsense. The whole big three stuff era is over. It's over. Clearly, the Phoenix Suns was trying to make another big three with Beal, Booker, and Kevin Durant. Clearly, that's what they were trying to do, and they sacrificed depth into doing it. Listen to me. That stuff does not work anymore, and I'm glad that it doesn't because it just cheapens competition. I'm glad that it doesn't work for them. It didn't work. The last time where it worked for was obviously, when it was with Miami. Obviously, when it was with Golden State, when he went with Golden State. But that stuff is over now. If you no longer have depth, when everybody is just constantly shooting threes over and over and over again, shooting 3 points, that big three era, I think that's over. Stop sacrificing your bench, your role players, just so you can have 3 all-stars on your team. And besides, Beal is not the same guy, like he used to be. And Kevin Durant, he's 35 years old now. So you using this strategy on guys who are getting older, to me, is just a recipe for failure. It's one thing if Bradley Beal was still in his 20s and Kevin Durant was still in his 20s. I could understand that point. But it didn't work, with Brooklyn. And it's not going to work here in Phoenix. The guys are losing the game. So enough, with this whole big three fiasco. Like enough. try to win the traditional way by having one or two megastar on your team and surround him, with complementary players, guys who could rebound, guys who could pass the ball, guys who could play defense. That's what you need. But if all you're going to focus is on just three main guys and sacrifice everybody else, you're not going to go anywhere, especially in the Western Conference. For goodness sakes, man, the highest rebounding in the I'm trying to remember who had the highest rebound. I think it was like 5 or was it 5 or 7? I have to go back and look. But
if it's 7, then Kevin Durant has 7.
Was it 7? Let me see it.
Right there. Right here.
Yeah, the highest was 7.
That was him.
And that was Kevin Durant.
And that was the so-called guy with no muscle.
Yeah, no muscle. I mean, I think that's still factual. You don't think so? I think so.
You wasted what, like 5 minutes? You wasted 5 minutes saying something about a guy who had 31 points on 11-17 shooting, perfect from 3, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block.
Oh, 1 assist, 1 block. Okay, that's fantastic. Correct. Congratulations for 1 assist, having now. Congratulations.
The facts are they didn't lose the game because of him.
No. I didn't say it's. I didn't say it's because of him.
But you spent 5 minutes.
Not handle physicality defense. He just can't.
To the best defensive team in the league, this is what he put on the first game of the postseason. This is his numbers against the best defense in the league. Again, you said all this. You said no, wait, hold on. Steve, I let you talk. I know he didn't. No, first of all, he did not. He struggled the entire series in that series. He struggled. He was not efficient. They beat the shit out of him in that series. They literally beat the shit out of him in that series. Here's the thing. He first of all, this is what you said. You spent 5 minutes talking about something about a guy who put up these numbers. He's not the reason why they lost. The reason why they lost is because their best player did not play well. People are making this about him. Devin Booker is the one that needs to show up. He's the one that needs to show up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine.
So all this stuff about you can't handle struggling defense and all that other crap. Like, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I know you don't like Kevin Durant, but let's not forget how great he is, even at his age. And now you said something about the team, about them building a big three. The thing isn't the big three problem. The problem is who they got, and that's Bradley Beal. Again, he's been hurt for most of the year, and also, I don't think he fits well with Devin Booker in the backcourt.
So you don't think it's a big three problem?
No, it's a big three problem because because the third guy isn't that good. Really doesn't fit the team what they're building.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you needed to sacrifice depth for Bradley Beal. Not for him. I see a bunch of Heat fans like, we should have gotten Bradley Beal for what? So he could be hurt. Like, he plays all he is an older Tyler Hero. That's all he is. And I'm not sacrificing Tyler Hero to get Bradley Beal. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like again, the reason why they're probably not going to beat Minnesota is because they don't have enough depth. And when you're saying that they sacrificed it to build a big three, this big three, I would agree with you. But it's not because of why they did it. It's not because of that, because we've seen other teams do this, right? Mm-hmm. But the reason why is because of the third person they got. I don't think he fits well with that team. I think they got the wrong big three. I think that the way they structured that team, I think it was all wrong.
Well, they were better off for Chris Paul, in my opinion.
No. You move on from Chris Paul. He's not gonna give you anything.
They went to the finals, dude.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
recent. That's
All right.
recent.
Come on. They also got blown out by 50 against Dallas the following year. No, you move on from that.
So,
I don't know. I don't know who you
better off with Beal than Chris Paul. Is what you're saying?
No, I think personally they should have gotten somebody else. They should have gotten somebody else. That's what I think.
Okay. You do agree that the Big Three era it should be over.
I don't know if I go that far, because if you have opportunity to get three great players, you're gonna do it. I just think it depends on the three guys who you actually get.
No. You can't sit here and say, oh, if you have an opportunity to get 3 stars, you do it. But then now it depends who you get. No, it
does depend who you get, because I don't think Bradley Beal is that great of a player. I don't think he's worth what they gave up for him. I don't think he's worth it. If they get somebody else, maybe someone who fits better with that duo, then teams are gonna still try to do it. So,
I mean, he did have like 15 points though.
Who, Bill?
Yeah.
All right, that's nice. I mean, the main reason why they lost game 1 was because Booker didn't show up, and Booker's the one that needs to show up for game 2.
Yeah. But you showing that Kevin Durant has 7 rebounds, which is the most. That's unacceptable. You're not going to win if Kevin Durant has to have the most rebounds in that team.
I mean, they have Yusuf Nurkic on that team, so Nurkic needs to. I guess he needs to step his game up too.
I don't want to hear anything about Nurkic. Like, how many rebounds did that dude get? Like, what, 4, 3?
I mean, they need him. They need him because if he's not putting pressure on Rudy Gobert, if he's not doing anything against Rudy Gobert, then what's he out there for? And they don't have depth. Like, I think Grayson Allen got hurt for them, and he's important for them, and he got hurt in this game. They have no depth. So guys like Grayson Allen, guys like Yusuf Nurkic, guys who have shown that they can play at least semi decently in this league, they need those guys to be good on pretty much on a nightly basis in order for them to stand a chance.
Well, they need guys who could rebound the ball. That's what they need.
And that's what Nurkic is supposed to be there for. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's there for. So, I mean, I don't really have much else to say.
No. I think we're good. Like, I think the Timberwolves are going to win the series in 5.
Okay. I think it's 5. Okay, right now they're.
I remember you said that you thought that the Phoenix Suns was going to win the series.
Yeah, I did. I did. But I also said that, bro, like they need Booker to play well in order for that to happen.
Yeah, I forgot to keep score because obviously I was wrong about Golden State, but we're gonna talk about them next. Yeah. And I forgot who else I was wrong about, but we were supposed to keep score of who was going to have the most wins regarding of the team. But so far, are you still going to stick with the Suns, or are you going to change your mind? You should probably just stick to them and let me have that one.
Yeah, I'll stick to it. I'll stick with it, even though I think.
And are you going to stick with the Pacers too?
Yeah. I mean, they're playing also. I think they're up by 5 at halftime against Milwaukee, but Damian Lillard again playing very well. I think last time I checked he had like 20 points in the first half. So he's playing well. He's playing well for them.
Okay.
But all right. So moving on. OKC, New Orleans. New Orleans, props to them. They made the game close. against OKC, and props on OKC because those are the type of games that they're not used to, right? Close, tight games, with clutch games. They're a young team. They're not used to that. So for them to win a game like that early is very good for them. It does suck that Zion's not there. Unfortunate because like I said, and I think in the play-in, he was fantastic. He was fantastic, and but the injury bug hit him again, and that sucks because that when we see when he plays, that dude is outstanding, especially with all the crap that he was dealing with, even going into this year
Hmm.
with the whole Mariah Mills stuff, and with guys calling him out for being fat, like I felt like once he got his legs underneath him, he was excellent. He was
Now,
excellent.
with
Unfortunately,
all that being said, how do you feel about all the criticism that he got for leaving the game early
for with the hamstring.
with Zion? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there was any discourse about it. But if he's hurt, bro. Like, come on now.
Yeah. I think Charles talked about it. Stephen A. talked about it. They're all criticizing him, for leaving the game early and not try to, suck it up to finish the game.
I have to search for those videos. 'Cause I didn't hear nothing about it. Truth be told.
Crap. I should have. I didn't think it was a big deal because since it was kind of a while ago now when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think it was something that it needed to be brought up. But now next time when something like this happens, I'll bring it up. But um, not since Zion is hurt again. There is one thing I want to say about Zion before I talk about the playoff game. And the thing is, his ship is starting to sail. And what I mean by that is because of the constant injuries, that he's been having over and over and over again, him being, the face of the league, being that push that the league needs, for people to watch, I think that's over for him. I think it's over. Like, I think it's going to be somebody else. He's constantly being outshined by, at the very least at the time, by John Morant, by Luca, obviously Giannis, and just a couple years ago, with LeBron James, Giannis, and Steph Curry, like everybody. Well, they don't really count because they were there before, but all the newcomers, that came in, they all been outshining, Zion because Zion is just can't stay on the court. And I think with all the injuries that he's been having over the years, he's no longer that attention draw. If that makes any sense, because he the dude just can't stay healthy. Forget about him being fat. Forget about that. That's another story that I'm going to continue to rant on. In the near future. But forget about that for right now. This dude is just constantly getting hurt, and because he's constantly getting hurt, like there's just no use to call him saying he's one of the faces in the league because the guy's not playing. The guy's not playing. But with this, I think OKC, unless he comes back, OKC should win this easy. So we should go ahead.
I think OKC wins in 6. I'll give New Orleans 2 games.
Two.
Because even without Zion, they have enough firepower to at least win 2 of these games. They have enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I think OKC showed a lot game 1, and I do think that they're prepared for this. So I think they'll win in 6. I'll give New Orleans credit because I do think they have a talented roster, even outside of Zion.
Yeah, I mean that may be true, but like they tried that already. Like they show that they can at least be a playoff team without him. But in order for them to make it far, that dude has to stay healthy. Like he has to, and it just really sucks because we are constantly getting robbed because we cannot see how well this team could actually be or how far this team can actually go when they have the whole entire squad intact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just really it's just sad. Like all the hype that this dude has gotten before he even got drafted. Now I'm not gonna say it was similar to what happened with LeBron James, but they were talking about this dude a lot. They were constantly. He was constantly being talked about even before he got drafted. And now that he finally got drafted, he's just and you could see when he's healthy, like he could dominate. He could clearly dominate. But unfortunately for him, and unfortunately for us as fans, as basketball fans, we just not going to be able to see him doing that for the long haul, unfortunately. But I think overall, with OKC, they should probably win this easy. And if they actually lose a game, it'll probably just be one game. So I think they may win in 5. If they're not going to sweep them, it's going to be in 5. So
Okay.
shout out to Alexander. He did a very good job. And I forgot the other guy's name. I think his name is Williams. I think he had a very good game too.
Yeah,
Uh,
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, he had a very good. I heard he had a decent game also. Yeah, he had a decent game also. So yeah, they have enough. They're very young, but without Zion, I think they should be able to win fairly easy.
Okay. All right. Last series that we talk about in the West is LA versus Dallas. Now, I picked Dallas to win the series, but here's the thing, but they got smoked in game 1, and that was without Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing, Kawhi Leonard is warming up. I don't know if he's gonna play game 2, but he did warm up. So I don't know. Like I still think Dallas wins game 1, but I didn't expect them to get blown out like that to the Clippers. I didn't expect that.
So you're saying that
And Kyrie and Luka played well.
they did.
Yeah. So I mean, those other dudes need to step up. So
I think in my opinion, the Clippers, they're also a very good balanced team. And when you have different guys who could score, like Paul George is a fantastic, he's still a very good two-way player. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still a very good defender, very good offensive player. And you have to give product, shout out, to, like how Shaq like to say, the others. Zubac, that dude had a fantastic. I think he had a double double on that game.
yeah.
He did his job with his rebounding, with his scoring, and James Harden, bro. You got. I can't. I have to give not just Zubac, but I have to give James Harden his flowers too. He showed up. He did this thing, even though Kawhi wasn't there. With 28 points, he did his job. Now the thing is, I forgot who said this in the chat. I think it was Malta. I can't remember, but somebody said either in our Discord or someone on Twitter had said you expect this from James Harden in the first round. You just want him to do this in the second round, and obviously in the Western Conference. And I agree with that. But for now, I have to give James Harden, he did his job. He did a very good job. And Russell Westbrook with only like 23 minutes. I think he had like 13 or 17 points, something like that. Very good on him. So I think because they have multiple guys, who could score in the consistent basis, I don't see Mavericks winning this series.
Oh, really? So you got the Clippers?
Yes.
Okay. I think the way because the Mavericks were the hottest team in the league coming into the playoffs, right? And I figured that if you have those guys, Kyrie and Luka playing well, and defensively, if they played really good defensively, I actually thought that they were the second best team, the team with the second best chance to make it to the NBA Finals behind Denver.
I didn't think so. I thought it was the Clippers.
Earlier on in the year, I thought it was going to be the Clippers, but especially with Kawhi healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he can be healthy, then yeah, my mind will change because I still think when he's healthy, he's a game changer. But yeah, I still think Dallas wins the series, but I do think it'll go 7.
You think it's gonna go 7?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I mean, look with Luca and with Kyrie Irving, being dominant, both scoring 30 points each. The reason why I don't really, I'm not gonna say this like I'm nonchalant about their scoring, but I feel like this is too much. Like it reminded me of Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony on the same team, guys who are dominant scorers, but I'm not really impressed with their defense whatsoever. I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah, Luca and Kyrie are not great defenders, but they're defensively they're actually a good team defensively.
Yeah, but outside of those two, and if you want to say PJ Washington is fine, then but outside of those three, like who else do you have? I'm not impressed with Tim Hardaway.
No,
2 years.
he's been in the league for a long time. He's a capable role player. Um, who else did they have? I know they made a couple of trades at the trade deadline. I know PJ Washington was one trade, which is a good trade for them. I forgot who the other guy. Damn, who was it?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I don't remember, but no, I do think they have, like, I do think they have enough. I do think they have enough to be LA.
Wow. Okay.
I do think they have enough. I was just stunned that they got smacked the way they did game one. So okay, I mean we can move on. Like we talked about all the series. Like I said, right now checking on Minnesota and Phoenix. Phoenix is down. Well, right now Indiana's leading Milwaukee 69-62, and right now Minnesota is up 99-83 with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So if if the Phoenix Suns don't make any threes soon, then the game's over. So all right. Well, before the playoffs started, we had some playing games, right? And thankfully, my prediction was correct about Philadelphia and Miami. Thankfully, but the one team that we thought we were going to see in the play-in was the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, you
They
thought
got-
the same way?
Yeah,
Oh, you did. I could have sworn you picked.
Sacramento.
Yeah.
I don't think I did. This game's over, by the way. They just made a three. I think this game's over.
Oh, you talking about Phoenix and Minnesota?
Yeah, we changed to hockey. But
Ooh, block shot. Ooh, that was nice.
but my thing is this, right?
That defense, man. But go ahead.
Yeah. I thought they were going to be in the plan. The fact that they're not, and the way that they lost, I think the game was close until late, and it was just they just didn't have enough. Now they're done. They're done for the year.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of talk circulating around what to do with this team in the future. Me personally, here's how I look at it. You have Steph Curry, who's obviously he's an all-time great, but he is getting older. He is getting older. With not only do you have the Western Conference being how crazy competitive the Western Conference is, right? And that doesn't even include Memphis, who will get better next year.
Mm-hmm.
You have Houston, who's shown that who barely made the playoffs, who you barely beat to make it to the play-in. They're gonna get better. You have San Antonio with Victor Wembanyama. He's gonna get better.
Yep.
And that team's gonna get better. You do not have this Golden State Warriors team are not going to compete. So what they need to do, they need to blow it up. It's over. It's over. And I'm telling you right now, if that includes trading Steph Curry, I would consider doing that.
What?
Yeah.
Hobie, there's if Steph Curry was on a decline like everybody else, I would obviously agree with you. That would have been a given.
That's why.
But the fact that
you trade him.
But the fact that he could still dominate The reason why he lost against that Sacramento team was simply because they kept on trapping him, they double teamed him, and it was so because you have to remember, like, you have to remember this. Back then, before, the reason why Steph Curry was, at least for me, considering him to be the best player in the league at one time, was not only because you had to double team him beyond, the 3-point line, which completely disrupts your defense right then and there anyway. But even when you decided to trap him or double team him, when he would try to go through these screens and whatnot, all the cutting that he would used to do, you no longer have to worry about that because Klay Thompson is no longer shooting efficiently like he used to before, or at the very least, he's just not dominant on his 3-point shooting like he used to be. So you could easily double team Steph Curry now and not having to worry about a Klay Thompson on the other side of the court shooting a 3-point, shooting 3 points. He's just not good anymore, and he's not good on defense anymore either. So I think it's so much easier for you to defend Steph Curry now, and especially at the fact that the league, all they do is just shoot 3-point shooting. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson dominating shooting the three is just not as impactful like it used to be because not everybody else is just doing it. You know what I mean? So I don't agree that you should get rid of Steph Curry. I think what Golden State should do is get rid of Klay Thompson and perhaps Draymond Green.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that too. They need to get rid of him too. Because here's the thing: truth be told, the reason why they're not in the playoffs right now is because of Draymond Green.
I agree.
Because here's the thing: if he wasn't going through his midlife crisis, they win more games. They'll win more games this year. They probably would be like a 7 seed or 6 seed or something. They would be in the playoffs right now if it wasn't for all the games missed, and mainly because when he plays, they're good.
I agree.
But the reason why I say you have to trade Curry is because you're not going to be good even with him. Like, how are you going to get better by keeping him and getting rid of everybody else? Because look, Klay Thompson is a free agent. He's going to be a free agent this year.
Yeah.
Draymond Green, do you think you'll get a lot for Draymond Green? I don't know if you can, unless you could swindle a team into doing so.
Okay.
So I guarantee you'll swindle somebody for Steph Curry. I'm not saying he's the problem. I'm not saying Curry's the problem. All I'm saying is that for a team that I know for a fact are not going to compete for championships, they're not going to. The West is too deep, and I don't think there's any move that they can make that will make them better overnight. Without trading Curry, and even then, the only way that will happen is if they can get a superstar or two to play with Curry. And I don't know if they can do that.
Well, I think
keep the core as is.
Well, I think the problem to me, what I think they need in order to compete now, I believe that they just need a well, the problem is there's not that many dominant centers or like around, like they I don't think they don't have a big man that they could bring into their roster. Like, I think now you could correct me because I don't know too much about it, but if they were able to get, like, let's say if they had someone, like, let's say Boston wasn't able to get Porzingis, and but the Golden State could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would have been a really big help for them. The problem is that now that we're having more big men in the league now that are dominating, and I'm not just talking about Joker and Giannis. Like, you mentioned how you like Embiid. You mentioned how Bam Adebayo has improved. We talking about how Porzingis have played very well with Boston. If Golden State was able to get at least a decent big man on their squad, because Lonely, all that dude could do is just rebound. He can't score. He can't do anything else except for rebounding, which is fine. But if you can't go to him, during crunch time, like he's just useless to me. They need a big man to help, to um to keep the pressure, off of Steph Curry. And they're gonna have to need another guy who could shoot the ball, because Klay Thompson can't shoot. Chris Paul, he's way too old. They need to get rid of Chris Paul. And if they could find good pieces for Draymond Green, for Chris Paul, and for Wiggins, I think there could be at least a decent team. Because I think you could have good trade value for a Wiggins, a Chris Paul, and Draymond Green, and those are three guys who could actually be a huge benefit elsewhere.
If you can get guys who can be well, first off, what you need, like, I don't. If you could get a big man, that's fine. But what you need, frankly, you need a second. You need another superstar. If you want to contend for a championship, you need a second superstar, and you need someone who is young enough to where he will become the main star once Curry, further goes into decline. But I don't know if they have enough to get that second star. I just don't think they have enough. So to me, what I think they need to do, I think they need to blow it up, because they're not going to be. Look, there are too many great teams in the Western Conference for them to be good right now. I just don't think I just don't think they have enough, and the team that they are currently is not enough.
Yeah, but you're no longer going to be box office if you give it to Curry.
That's true, but if all you care about is just being, if you want to be the Lakers with Kobe last couple of years, then by all means go ahead. By all means go ahead, but the way that Golden State operate, I don't think they want to do that. So
Okay, so I think they need a big man. You think they just need to completely annihilate the whole entire team altogether. And look, I'm not saying that what you're saying is too far fetched, because we've actually had a similar stance when we thought that Boston, kept their big three for too long. And I felt the same way, with Detroit when they won their championship. I think they kept the squad, a little too long. And I feel the same way about Golden State. Once they won that last championship, they should have tried to get better and try to get new.
I think the biggest mistake that they made was re-signing Draymond. That was the biggest mistake they made.
I think the biggest mistake they made was giving Wiggins that big contract.
I don't know. Me personally, I think I would have done the same thing, but right now it looks like a bad contract, because like he's been struggling all year. So I don't know. I think they need to cut bait. Period.
And obviously, with the drama that they had, in recent past, with Poole and everything, like I think they've just had more drama than anything else. Klay Thompson's not the same guy. Don't, if they're going to sign, Klay Thompson, is going to have to be a massive pay cut.
Yeah, and that sucks for him, because he was looking for a big contract deal, and based on his resume, he deserves it. But coming back from two massive injuries, and then potentially your final game against as a Warrior, you go 0 for 10 from 3, no points period, like that. Man, that's tough to swallow, man.
Yeah, he just ruined his contract with that last game, officially.
Yeah,
he's not going to get a good contract. At least not in Golden State. Maybe somewhere else, but your 3-point shooting is not as dominant anymore. So because of that alone,
I mean, to me, he's a bench player now.
Exactly,
he's a bench player.
Exactly. Everybody could shoot threes.
Yeah,
and with your defense is not being as dominant as it used to be, yeah, you're just a bench player. So if Golden State going to sign him, it shouldn't be any more than 10 million. It should be way less than that. Actually, it should be the similar contract that Westbrook got.
All right. Well, let's end the podcast, guys. I'm gonna get ready to go to work.
Yeah, I think we covered everything anyway.
Yeah, so we'll be on the lookout on Discord, because Malta is going to show us some jerseys.
And just so you know, Phoenix Suns, they lost.
Yeah,
and they lost, and it wasn't even close. So
Yeah, they got blown out again. So yeah. So so Malta's gonna show us some of his jersey collection. Looking forward to that. And then Ruben said that the problem isn't Curry, it's everyone else, and I agree. But
You see, I
if
told
you,
you.
but if you're going to rebuild the franchise, and the best way to do it is by trading Curry, he has the most value. Now, I don't think they'll do it unless he wants to do it.
I
Unless
don't.
he,
It'll be a bad idea because they're gonna want to have somebody with equal value to Curry. You're not going to put him in a very good position because when you look at all the teams who have elite players, who are you going to trade them for? Like who are you going to trade him for? It's obviously not going to be like if you could look at all the best players in the league right now. Let's say if you look at the top 5 players in the league right now, they're not going to trade any of those guys for Curry. Nuggets is not going to trade Joker for Curry. The only person that I see who could probably make the trade, and I think it'll be a stupid trade, is if they trade Curry for actually no, that trade gonna be stupid too. I was gonna say Curry and Kyrie. No, they're not gonna do that. Like who are you gonna trade them for? Not Tatum. Who would you trade him for? Hoovy.
hmm,
Who would you trade him for?
trade him for picks or something. You got to trade. You try you
Picks.
when if you're the Warriors, you have to build for the future.
Okay,
You have to,
so you're not trading. You're not thinking of trading him for equal value. You're just trading him for picks only.
yeah, you got to trade. You got to trade. You got to build for the future. Holy crap!
Okay.
The game getting close.
Okay. All right. Well, so for the future, I mean, I guess you're gonna have multiple picks, but okay. Well, on that note, I thought this was a good conversation. So we'll be on the lookout for the next podcast. I do want to talk about the situation that happened with Pokemon and with Sweet Baby Inc. And I think there's another topic that I also want to mention also, but we'll keep you guys posted regarding that. Also, since Hoovy doesn't have enough time, I will show you guys the new logo for my channel. I officially have my logo. It's up and ready. So you guys let me know what you think. I will actually have you guys, depending on how many people that's in the chat, you guys decide out of the two logos which one you think I should use. And since you guys have been a great support of this channel, I actually want your guys' input, and you guys decide which logo you think I should use out of the 2-3 logos that I have in my possession. But that'll be either for this week or next week. So with all that being said, thanks you guys. Oh wait, you gotta do the roll call.
Yeah, I'll do the roll call. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Rudolphi, check the. I posted the invite on both the WhatsApp and on here. If you guys want to see, this is the Discord link. If you guys haven't joined, please join. Um, Nolan, he mentioned about Miami FC is on fire, but no coverage. Are you talking about Inter Miami or Miami FC? Because there's two Miami teams. Ruben said, "My bad, Hubi. I called Steve when I was there to go to DMB and he fell asleep. It's no big deal."
But to be fair, Ruben, I did call you back, and and I forgot what happened, but I did call you back, or I think I texted you back. But you know what? I yeah, I picked you up to go to James game night, which was cool. It was good to catch up though. But yeah, my bad, man.
All right, so I think Rudolphi just joined the Discord. So props to you, Rudolphi.
Oh,
On that note, thank you guys for watching. Let's do the roll call. Ruben, thank you for watching. Nolan, thank you for watching. Rudolphi, thank you for watching. Let's see. Malta, thank you for watching. Let me see. We hung out late Saturday.
yeah,
We
yeah,
talked-
yeah. I picked him up. We went to Big James' house, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Okay. GBG Studios, thank you for watching. Let's see who else joined us. F, thank you for watching. Critical Drop, thank you for watching. Anthony Edwards, thank you for watching, and you played well tonight, sir. Good, congratulations.
Oh man, fantastic.
Ryan Meadows, thank you for watching.
Fantastic.
All right, so and that's it for today. So yeah, so we'll be back. Likely we'll be back tomorrow. You know, talk some more topics and make up for missing Monday. So on that note, this will be 186, and we are.
This is the Traditionalist 101, and signing out. Have a good one.